coffee stains and chains. I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. LeetCode, beast mode, 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 LeetCode, beast mode. This is not a main thing, really I'm a coder. Coffee stains and chains, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. LeetCode, beast mode, 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 LeetCode, beast mode.
AK, we got another AK. How'd everyone do in the contest this week? Let's see where we landed. We keep getting pushed back because people, a lot of AKs, a lot of people are gonna finish it this week. Did you solve Q4? It was easy, honestly, this week. I was able to AK. So I got 4 out of 4, so 2078. Oh, this week was way easier. I didn't do the last week's at all. I've been on I haven't done much LeetCode, so I was a bit rusty and still was able to, like, this month I only did LeetCode like 3 different days. So I need to get back on my grind, but it's not uploading. Oh, it's 7:29. But that break helped me out a little. Honestly, this week was so easy. Can't lie. Nah, Paul, I'm pushing for that promo hard right now. I'm gonna tweak out this year. Did you get some points? Some points off what? Yeah, 43,000? Okay, my rating's gonna go up high after this one. Alpha, you're the biggest tweaker I know, man. Dropping videos every day. I know you're pumping out a lot of code, doing like 12 mock interviews. Your schedule is harder than mine because those mock interviews are draining, man. Yeah, those videos are. I haven't even been posting as many videos as you. But honestly, you have to. If I was getting as much views as you, because you're riding the wave right now, I would ride the wave until it died. The only reason I stopped posting videos because the wave was dying down. So I was like, there's no. Let me work on getting my promotion, then maybe my views will come up after that. Yeah, ride that wave of this. All right, let's see how Padish did. Do you have like mostly return viewers? Okay, I'm gonna talk to Padish quickly. Let's get this guy on. He's on. Yeah, Alpha, most of my subs actually came from just streaming, and then I had it so that you could only comment in the chat if you're subbed. Let me tell Pudish them live. How to be consistent? Wait, let me tell Pudish them live. How to be consistent on how to be consistent on LeetCode, dude? Man, you just gotta just keep. It all depends. Why do you want to do LeetCode though? What's your why? My why before was I wanted to get a job, and that was enough for me to grind. And after you grind enough questions and you get somewhat good at it, you don't want to slip up. You don't want to get to that point where you're bad again. What's my why now? My why? Yeah, honestly, just YouTube. My why now is YouTube. But my why for LeetCode is YouTube. But my why for Codeforces is actually becoming a better problem solver. At what point did questions become second nature to you? It depends. Some questions are second nature. Questions that are probably 1700 elo or lower. But I would say you need to get to the point where when you think of a solution, you need to be able to just implement it right on the spot. Sean, what's up, man? Yo, Sean, we need to do a call. I was able to get AK, but it was so easy. You probably destroyed it. Yo, everyone, go follow Sean on LinkedIn. I'll show you stuff. This guy's a legend. Sean, can I show you your LinkedIn or nah? You okay with that? Yeah, this is my second AK actually. Yo, everyone, go follow Ishaan. He's done over 3,000 LeetCode questions and he just hit 3,000 and he's just grinding out more questions. He places pretty high every time. So I'm following all his stuff. I like his LinkedIn. His website is cool too. Where is it? How did you, Ishaan, how did you do? Yeah, I got this was only my second. So, damn, 1 year ago, 2,304. Alpha, you got to catch up. You're the only person that I know that has more questions solved than Alpha. Nice. What did you place at? Yeah, I took some penalties. Man, we need to hop on a call at some point and I need to pick your brain on how to get as good as you, man. Let me know if you're down. Yeah, Sean's a goat. I'll just show his let me show his post quick. Yeah. Wait. How do I get to it's hard to get to people's actual activity. How do I get to their post? Okay, show up post. Man, Look at this guy. So sick. He's solving every LeetCode question. What a legend. He solved the LeetCode on a plane. I have a video when I did that too. I solved one on the plane. And he got 100 rank while on the plane. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm trying to get sub 1,000 at least. So I got 2,000, which wasn't bad, but this is just hilarious. Yeah, he's real quick. Real quick. Yeah, I saw you commenting. Alpha, I saw you commenting on his stuff too. I follow him too. He's in the chat right now, Alpha. He's in the chat here. How do y'all actually met in person or what? Yeah, Sean's crazy, man. Sean, what's your LeetCode username? Ishaan, what's your username? Because everyone gets confused. Thinks it means, oh, it thinks you're at the bottom. That's so troll. Budish, what's up, man? How you doing today? Hold up, let me get my AirPods. Okay, my bad. Hold up. No. That was my fault. I was muted. You got your first AK? Yo, respect, man. Respect. Way too easy. Wait, you don't sound loud enough. Chat, how's his sound? Can y'all hear him or no?
Okay. Tell me if it's
What
better.
about now?
Hello.
Chat, can you hear him?
Yeah, tell if it's better now.
All right. Pradesh, congrats on your first AK, man. I know it feels good.
Yeah, it does. But see, the worst part is in the last contest I solved 3 questions and I got a 1k rank. Today I solved all 4 and my rank is 3.2k something.
3.2. Yeah.
What's your rank?
My rank this week was around 2,000, I think, cuz I think a lot of
That's
people
cool.
AK'd this one.
Yeah, this one. The worst part about me is that I always give up on 4th question. So today, after doing 3 questions, I didn't even read the 4th question. Then people in the chat were like, "Bro, it's easy. You can solve it." So I even tried to read
Yeah.
it.
Are you scared to do the fourth question
Yeah,
usually?
I always have a mental barrier. Initially, it was for the 3rd question, but for the past few contests, the 3rd question have been easy. So now I see it. But for the 4th question, this is the first time I'm solving the 4th question. This is your
Nice.
second all kill, right?
Yeah, it's my second AK.
Bro, you're gonna be a knight soon too.
Man, congrats on night. Let's see your profile and then walk me through your solution real quick. See how you
Okay. Let me
solved
share
it.
this one. I made it pretty clear the last time I write the dirtiest code available. But let's
Yeah,
still
let's
go.
see.
Okay. Let's start with the first question. Right.
So was
So
your intuition here?
this was, yeah, in this on the only thing we had to like think about was to see who's the active player, right? Who's gonna get the score?
Yeah,
Who's gonna get the score? Right.
yeah.
So I just don't ask me the naming convention or anything. I just made a string that stores over who's gonna get the points. If the score is odd, then our two that our active player is gonna get swapped.
Well, could you
If
shrink that
it's
thing
a
on the right for a sec? I can't see. It's blocking a little bit.
wait, what do you want? What did you
Does it
say?
let you shrink that meeting thing on the right?
Shrink that. Oh yeah. Okay. I think yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah. So
Perfect.
to add is basically who's the active player. If our score is odd, to add is swapped. If it's a multiple of six, it is swapped. And in the end, whosoever is to add it to there, add the score to that person.
Okay. So you
Does that
just
make sense?
what let's look at the prompt again. So you just thought you just went for a simulation right away? Like you
Yeah,
realized that it's
exactly.
a simulation? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What about
It's the
Q2?
first question. I think it was just 1,000, so that's why I did it.
Makes sense.
Salva mein Salva.
Oven Q2.
9 name games, bro. Chill, bro.
What
What
is
are you
this one?
even talking about? Yeah, this is okay. I think I wrote pretty good code for this. Generally, I write very ugly code, but in this, I made a function to find the factorial of any number.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. A function which finds
Alex,
the
what's up?
sum.
Wait, question. Is there not a factorial in C++? Factorial function?
There might be. You know what? This is a good thing, bro. Factorial
Yeah,
function in C++.
cause in Python
I'm
you
not.
could do math, factorial, permutations, whatever.
Uh, there is
Oh,
not.
damn,
There
you
is
can't.
not. There is not. See, that's why I say Python users are so privileged sometimes. It's crazy. Okay.
So how did you
And
compute
this
the
is
factorial?
just go from 1 to that number because at max it can be 9, right? We are going with digits.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah,
I see.
right. And then there's a factorial sum which basically takes in your every digit, right? X is the original number. R would be the rightmost digit, right? When you take a modulo 10, right? Am I making sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Because
then
you're
find
just
factorial.
extracting the last number and then you're building the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, building the answer. This would return us the sum of factorial of every digit. Now, in the end, how did I compare it? I don't know if this line was even needed. I was first checking if their length is not equal, then return false. But yeah, in the end, I just converted the both the integers to string, right? To string, and then sorted those string, and then returned if they both are equal.
Yeah, that's smart.
That's
I
what.
like that.
That's how I did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
makes sense. On to the third one.
Yes, sir. AK today. All right, what did you do on the
AMK.
third? So did Padish.
Okay.
His first AK. Yo, you're gonna hit like
Yeah.
1900. You're gonna hit like
No, no, no,
2000
no.
elo soon.
Nah, bro, because I got 3.2 Kirang. I don't expect myself to reach 1900. But yeah, I'm happy with my performance today.
Yeah,
This one I think was this was a greedy question, right?
yeah,
I wrote redundant code here. Yeah, I wrote pretty redundant code. I first counted how many ones and zeros do we have in T, right? That's what I'm doing here.
sure.
How many ones and zeros we have. Then I'm building the most optimal T. Initially, I thought we have to return the most optimal T, but in the end, we had to return the XOR, right?
Yeah,
So this is the code for that XOR. In here, I am going from left to right. Again, for the most optimal version of T, we would see if the character at C is 1, we would push a 0. If it is 0, we would push a 1 because XOR of 1 0 is 1 and 0 1 is 1.
yeah. Makes
Right?
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's how I did it.
you're trying to go from left to right and
Left to right.
preserve the
Exactly.
ones and zeros, flip them to one.
Yep, exactly. That's how I did it. And this is just the code to build the final XOR. Again, this was a pretty simple question for the third question. I solved I
How
solved
did you
these
build
in
the
like
Zor? Oh, okay. Then you went from damn. I
I
did
went from
something
left to
weird where I
right.
went from left to right, then back from right to left with the remaining ones if I had any. It's kind of weird.
Wait. Okay, maybe after this, maybe you will run
Yeah,
me through
I'll
your
show
code.
you my solution. Okay.
Right. And fourth one, I got 4 penalties in the fourth one. 4 penalties. All because CPP is such a goddamn stupid language. I used a long double. Basically, it's like a better version of double. Double is used to store decimals.
Yeah.
Long double can store longer decimals. So my logic was all correct, but it was this long double that was causing precision issues. That's why I was stuck on the last test case for like 2 times. It's plain DP, I guess. For every state we can multiply, divide, or skip. In the
Yeah.
end, answer is the sum of all those options, right? And that's it. And this is just memoization. Just memoization.
Memoization on what? The pointer at, okay, if you have a
The
specific value.
pointer and the value. Pointer and the value. Yep. That's it. Pretty easy contest. 3.8k all killed. That's
Yeah.
how many people used to solve second question
Oh,
back
it's
in the days.
crazy. A lot of time, I think people just also burn out at some point too. So after
Yeah.
when they get to the fourth question, they just burn out and they don't want to continue no more. I'll show you my
Continue.
mine's kind
Sure.
of interesting.
Mhm. I have a better way to solve fourth, more intuitive one. Okay, bro. We gotta bring you on call after he shows this.
Yeah, I'll show you and then
Why you guys using sort? I did without sorting. Bro, that was what I thought was the easiest at that time.
yeah, I tried to sort, but I kind of messed up, or some things were slow. But let me share my screen.
Sure, please do. Now the two knights will play with each other. Kavish, bro. Kavish, you might as well get banned.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Chat, can you hear me good too? Chat, audio is good. All right, so this week was able to get to 2,000 rank.
Damn,
We'll see.
that's
Refresh
crazy.
it. Oh, let's go. 1810. It's getting lower.
What's mine? What's mine? I gotta see mine.
All right, I'll walk you through quickly what I did.
Yeah, please do. 2.8k. Okay, that's not bad.
I think I already dropped the video. It's live when like showing me doing it live too.
Oh, you did?
Let's see if it's up. Nice. There you go. Okay, let's start with Q1.
Okay.
So yeah, for this, it's exactly the same as yours when it's literally just a simulation.
Oh, right. Used a Boolean variable. I used a string to
Yeah,
like
I used a
take.
Boolean variable and I would just flip it
Yep.
when I realize for any of these, and then depending on if it's first or if it's second, then I increase the number, and then for game I start at 1, and if it's mod 6. Did you start
Wait,
game at 1 also?
game. What do you mean by game equals to one?
Game is
Okay,
the
then.
current game because every 6 game it just needs to swap roles.
Oh, you see, in my code, I was like, index percentage 6, index modulo 6 equals to 5. You're doing it 0, right? So that's the difference. I was using zero based indexing.
I
So
see.
every 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the fifth number would be the place at which it would be flipped. That's why I did modulo 6 equals to 5. You did modulo 6 equals to 0 because you
How
started
did
from
you
1 and
handle the
started from 0.
zeroth case, the index 0 case? You just skipped over it?
No, 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 no. I started from zero based indexing. I don't know how is game being used there. I started from zero based indexing. Basically, iterate from left to right,
Yeah.
and indexes are from 0 to n minus 1, right?
Yeah.
So basically, at every point where modulo 6 equals to 5 is the point which is a multiple of 6. So we flip the status there.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That's how I did it.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah,
can't
you could
explain
just
it
do index
perfectly,
plus
but
1. You're right, Ishaan.
yeah.
Being dumb. All right. So let's go to Q. That's why I always ask these questions, because people saw in the heat of the moment, you just try to
Yeah,
pump out the first thing that comes to your head, and sometimes it's not the best.
not the best.
Even for okay, what's this second question? Okay, the permutation. So what I
Yeah.
essentially did, and I could have sorted it as well,
Okay.
but what I did was pretty much, what's this count? Bro, this is so dumb. But essentially for every number in n, I incremented a count which essentially counted the number of occurrences of each of each number in n.
Number in n, basically every digit.
Yeah, I just
You
kept
can
count.
iterate over.
It basically, it's kind of dumb, but essentially at the end. Hold up.
Right.
Jeez.
And augmented. Yeah, we'll add him, bro. We'll add him after this.
Wait, can you hear me now? Hold up.
Yes, I can.
Let me just make sure my sound is good. Definitely not good. Yeah, so basically what I did was for every number I incremented this count and then I calculated the factorial for every digit. But the count was essentially capturing the count of each digit in num. And then
Why
after,
do you need that?
it's basically how I could see at the end of the day
Oh,
if they're equal. If they have the same number of each digit,
yeah. Okay, I
then
get
they're
it.
equal, right? So then I
Kind of
loop
like a hash map, right?
exactly. Then I loop through element in count, or then what I did is after I have the result, I loop through
Ooh,
all the elements in the result and I decremented by one.
one.
And it
Now
all of
makes
them
sense.
equal to 0 at the end. That means the n and the result have the same exact
Same.
elements, and
Yeah.
then I return true. Which
No, I had this approach.
I tried doing that sorting thing, but I messed it up, so I thought it wouldn't work. And then I
Yeah.
just implemented this right away.
Yeah. This was also the first thing I thought, but I was like, sorting is easier, at least in CPP. Just convert
Yeah,
it
for
to string
sure.
and then sort it.
I was thinking
That's
of
it.
doing the sorting thing as well.
Right.
Wait, is my
That's
microphone working for you good on your side? Let me
Yeah.
just make sure.
Yeah. For me, it's good. We should admit at this guy. He's augmented. Yes, I would. After the
You
discussion.
can also do
Okay.
counter string one. So yeah.
Okay. After like we discussed the solution. See, there's this one guy who's on my stream who also came on a meet last time. He really wants to like talk to you. Is it okay if I add him to
Yeah, you
this
can
meet?
add him. You can
He's
add
like
him. He wants to say
he's a
what's up.
guardian on LeetCode.
Oh, he's a guardian. All right. All right. Sounds
Yep.
good. So this one,
Little-
Ishaan, I'm curious. Tell me your rankings. See the rankings. 1810.
Damn, 1810. Wow.
Ishaan, I'm curious. You can. Yeah. I'll add you. I actually want to talk to Ishaan too. Do you know who Ishaan is?
Sean?
Ishaan.
No,
Add him to the
Sean.
call
Yeah, add him.
because he's solved over 3,000 leak code questions.
Oh,
Okay.
that guy who's on my LinkedIn feed all
Yeah,
day.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, I know. That's crazy. I know him. He's in some like, yeah, I saw him. I stalked his LinkedIn profile yesterday.
Yeah, because Sean, I want to get your thought process.
Yep.
All right, for especially for Q3. Q3 was a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna add it. You can hop in whenever. Let's see.
Where is? Ratings are out.
Ratings are
Can
out
somebody tell me? Yeah.
already.
No. On Entrant Hub.
Okay, check mine after.
On Entrant Hub.
Wait, Sean might join soon. All right, Q3 was kind of interesting. I'll show you what I did for Q3. What I
Okay.
Oh, Sean, what's up, man?
What's up?
Yo, hi Sean.
Guy's a
Let me
legend.
put on headphones so there's no reverb.
Yeah.
I'll be muted for a sec.
You
Okay, this
losing
guy's the
rating?
actual LeetCode legend right here.
Yeah, I see his LinkedIn post. And it was crazy. He's done like he's on his mission to solve every problem on LeetCode, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That sounds crazy.
Holy Ishaan in the building.
LeetCode cap, that is so much aura. That's crazy.
Yeah, he put on the LeetCode cap. Yeah, I gotta show this guy.
That's
Let's
crazy.
see. Let me show what the group chat's looking like right now. Something. Wait, where's Ishaan? Where's everyone? Everyone in here?
Yep.
All right. Okay, I'll share my Q3. Ishaan, I'm curious how you solved it. Let's see. Y'all can see my screen? Sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I pretty much solved it by I went from I looked in T and I counted the number of ones. And then I went on S. And my thought process was I'm gonna go from left to right on S and flip all of them from, if there is 0, I'm gonna flip it to 1. So I'm gonna use all the elements in T to flip like the largest bits to 1.
Okay.
And I did some weird shit at the end, moving from right to left. I don't know if I need to do that, because what you're gonna want to do is go from left to right, flipping all the zeros to ones if possible, and then you might have some leftover ones. So I was thinking at the end, if I have any leftover ones, I'll just move from right to left and just place those ones at the very end where I can, and that'll lead me to the optimal result. I don't know if that makes sense.
I mean, wait, how?
Your code is short, so it seems good.
What did you do, Ishaan?
I put counter of T, so that's one line, and that tells you how many zeros and ones there are. And then I just looped left to right, and I put a 0 if I was able to and I wanted to, and I put a 1 if I was able to and I wanted to, and that's all.
Damn, that's smart.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
How-
it's all the same. It's
You just place a 0 if you wanted to. If
Like-
it's already
like
a 1, right?
you want to place a 0 when there's a 1. So I place a 0 if both I want to place a 0 and I have a 0 to place. Otherwise, I have to place a 1, and
I
vice
see.
versa.
What's your LeetCode rating, Ishaan?
Bro,
It's usually around 2,700.
what's your thing?
That is crazy.
LeetGoat _dot_io
Code
Bro,
underscore
2,700.
underscore, yeah, like the word dot
Oh, I
underscore,
see.
yeah.
Legend. Damn, you hit Guardian. Yeah, that's already like.
I think I hit Guardian before I knew what it even was.
Bro, you're trying to get to 3,000. You're gonna try to solve 850 questions this year. I mean, it's doable. 400
Yeah.
is hard though. 400 is hard.
How many remaining for each category? Like,
Should be okay.
is medium the most remaining?
Yeah, there's 430 mediums left.
Damn.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll show you
don't
my
feel
Q4.
too long.
It's kind of interesting because the way that you did it, Pudish, is different. But what I did is I tried to maintain the numerator and denominator. Otherwise, I was getting some weird errors if I just multiplied
Yeah.
divided right away.
That
don't
was
know if
smarter
y'all-
to do it. That was smarter. I was using a double. Wait, what language do you code in, Nishan?
Whatever's the best language for the problem.
What
What?
did you do for this one?
The best language for this problem is Python, so I used Python.
Like, how could you tell what's the best? What's your sort of, how do you know when you're gonna do it? Use Python or not?
On LeetCode, Python's usually the best. If you need sparse tables plus binary search, C++ is better. If you need a really heavy segment tree, C++ is better. On Codeforces, it just depends on the time constraint. Usually, it just depends on the problem. Yeah.
Wait, on Codeforces, isn't it mostly CPP?
No, most people use C++, but that doesn't mean it's always the best. There's a lot of strong people who use Python. A lot of easier questions, it's more optimal to use Python. It's fewer lines. C++ matters if it's a very tight time constraint. If you need like bottom-up DP, it needs to be really fast constant factor. But even then, you can make a lot of Python code fast with some tricks.
I was drinking the
No, that's
protein too.
crazy.
I have this thing where I feel like a lot of people say, like, oh, a C++ user or a Python user benefits in this problem, but there's no such thing as a Python user. Anyone can use Python. It's just they haven't learned it yet. So if you learn all of them, then you always get the best of both worlds.
Learn all of them. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But the
you
thing
should
is,
learn Python. You just do C++ all day.
yeah, I'm a CPP monkey, bro.
Ishaan, what do
I
you
need
think people ask this in the channel all the time, what programming language to learn? What would you suggest,
yeah, they
Python or
do.
C++?
Whatever, like to be good at LeetCode to pass interviews.
Yeah, to pass or just in general, they're trying to figure out their first language. They're trying to
So
get
I
a
did my
job.
first 900 problems in JavaScript because I was a web dev when I started. And I think that was the best because when people learn LeetCode, they're already dealing with a lot of mental overload, learning all of these new concepts. Highly do not recommend they learn a new language at the same time. I think they should use whatever language they're best at. It really doesn't matter. They're like all the same. If anything, JavaScript was better. I
Yeah.
had to implement a heap from scratch every time I used it. And so
Yeah,
that taught me. So I actually would even advise to stay away from Python if you're learning your fundamentals. But after that, like I switched to Python for competitive, then I switched to C++ because I became frustrated with a few things about Python, or like I learned C++, and now I just switch between them based on the problem.
I see. What's your LeetCode journey? When did you start doing LeetCode?
yeah, I need to know
Yeah,
that.
I wanna know where you started at.
Yeah, I
And
started a few years ago. I was a complete beginner. I didn't know what like a hash map was or
Uh-huh.
anything. I'm a self-taught engineer.
You're a self-taught
And
engineer?
yeah,
Like you didn't take it in school?
no, I studied business. I almost failed out of school because I was traveling for Rubik's Cube competitions all the
Yeah.
time. I was never at school. And then I became a professional poker player. And then I ran a Pokemon Go boosting farm. And then I learned how to code on the internet. And then I became a software engineer.
That's
So it's my third
crazy.
career.
and okay, dumb question, but how long did it take you to get that lead code cap you're wearing?
Yeah, it takes a long time. It's probably like a year on average to get that many coins. But
I
now
think
I'm a little
you,
bit faster because you get coins from contests.
yeah.
But it's
Did,
not. It's
did
not
you ever contribute a question or like a test case? You did not. I think you
test
can.
cases.
You
I think I've added test cases on GitHub. I don't think I've never added a question.
okay, yeah, because even those get you some coins.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you only started doing LeetCode 3 years ago?
like 2.5, I think,
2.5?
maybe 3. Yeah, 2023, sometime middle of 2023.
And then
So
how did you get good at LeetCode? Did you go topic by topic? What was your sort of strategy? Or did you just take on random questions?
yeah, I use a learning framework that I use for everything. So okay, one is I think that there's this like dominating factor. So actually, I think getting really good at something, obviously having the best resource helps, or like a specific study strategy.
Mm.
But I think it is the real dominating factors is, are you practicing in an intentional way? Are you practicing with focus? Are you consistent? So I feel like a lot of people ask how to get good at this,
Yeah.
and they have like 4 hours of TikTok time every day. So that alone is actually gonna like make a bigger difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went topic by topic because I was a complete beginner, so I
Yeah.
couldn't solve any problem, couldn't even solve two sum. For each topic, I learned how to do that topic. I learned all of the patterns. I would solve the same problem 5 or 6 different ways to get all of the learning out of it.
Yeah.
And I would just like sit and think and try to connect the dots between questions.
Mhm.
Random problems is bad because when you start, you can't solve most problems. So you're just gonna do a random problem, not be able to solve it, look up the solution, kind of get it, but you'll end up just memorizing it because you're not building the foundation. So I think after like 8 or 900, I started doing randoms.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
your first 8 or 900, you're going topic by topic?
Yeah, around that. Maybe a bit less. I don't quite remember, but I was also like that's more than most people need because as
Yeah.
I said, I was a complete beginner and I'm kind of slow at learning, so
Mm.
I need a little bit more.
And then how much time
Wait,
would
do
you
you,
spend on each question? Or sorry, Pajushigo? You say?
Wait, I'm asking, do you also do CP?
Yeah,
Computer programming.
this is CP. We're doing a coding contest on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I think I meant to say Codeforces and all that.
Oh, I do a little bit. I think I'm expert right now, but not.
Damn.
I don't have so much time these
You don't
days
have
'cause
time.
I have
Yeah.
an illness that takes a lot of time away from me.
That is crazy.
Do you how much time do you spend per question?
On LeetCode, just
Yeah,
like 2 or
even
3
when you
minutes.
started,
Like,
because people are like, should I stare at the question? Should I look at the answer?
mm,
I mean, you were kind of learning before AI even came out, though.
yeah, they should just look at the answers when they don't know how to do things. Look at 5 or 6 answers, but don't just look at it and type out the code and solve it. Look at it and understand and learn. There's no point trying to solve a question unless you're really like you have a good chance of solving it. And then after that, you can struggle for a little bit. But in my opinion, I actually think people spend too much time trying to solve a problem.
Yeah.
They should probably give up earlier.
So when you
Okay.
just, or go ahead, please.
James,
He's on
I was
stream too,
asking,
so you got
can
a
I
bunch
invite
of
that
people
friend?
watching. Go ahead.
Can I invite that friend who's been asking me since like a week
Yeah, we can
to
we can
talk to you?
him.
Okay, let me invite him.
Hudish, we should do another thing when I just do a full. I'll send you questions because you've done a lot
A
of
full-
things. You know what it takes to grind to get to become the best at something, and I want to pick your brain. I'm curious on your thoughts on the industry and all that stuff.
On what?
Ishaan, for
Wait, I didn't
Ishaan.
get you. Okay, for Ishaan.
That's what I was telling you for on LinkedIn. We should do like just like a casual one like this on stream.
Mm,
Let me know if you're free tomorrow or something.
yeah.
So what did you do for Q4? Python as well?
Yeah, Python's the best for Q4.
How did you maintain the division by 0? Did you maintain numerator and denominator as well?
I don't maintain numerator and denominator, just the difference between the two for each factor. For 2s, 3s, and 5s are the prime factors.
Wait, what? I don't get that. For
You need to use
Q4?
a prime factor decomposition.
What?
If you maintain the numerator or denominator or just one number, your code will probably pass because of weak test cases, but
Yeah.
in theory, it might not, it might fail. It might FST, fail system test, when they add test cases later. So it's not safe to do that. So you have to use a 4-dimensional DP,
Damn.
or maybe there's like some upper bounding proof on that method. But
So when they add more test cases, my solution might get taken back and I'll drop my
it's
ranking.
possible, yeah. Unless there's like a proof. I mean, if you use like just a float in Python, there's probably a hack for some precision issue that somebody could find that might invalidate your solution or something.
Wait,
Wait,
so
I'm sorry, I'm out of things. You're talking about Codeforces or LeetCode?
No, we're talking about Q4.
Q4? See, yeah, I had a question. Like, I know, James, you didn't do the last bi-weekly contest. Ishaan, did you do the last bi-weekly contest? No, I'm asking weekly.
Yeah, I did last week both contests. I don't
Did
really
you-
remember the
because
questions.
see, for the third question, the constraint was n goes up till 2500, and I wrote a big O of n cube solution, and it still got accepted. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, I saw a few people like that. It's probably just weak test cases.
Weak test cases, right? So I did deserve to get a TLE,
Mm,
I guess.
maybe. I don't know if deserve is a philosophical question.
Yeah, you're right. And that's what actually like pushed my ranking tonight. See, that's what I was saying. I'm getting imposter syndrome at this point.
Sean, are you gonna keep grinding out DSA and LeetCode?
I mean, I'm gonna finish all the questions
Yeah.
because it's just a funny challenge and people seem to enjoy that.
Yeah.
But I'm not super interested in investing in LeetCode. I think it's a bad use of time.
What would be better but
What?
use of time?
Building something cool, learning how to code useful products. I think that most software engineers are going to be laid off and probably are over-indexing on LeetCode.
Damn. So
No.
what kind of project do you think people should do? People ask this in the stream all the time, like, what's the best side project?
I mean, they should do something. Well, it depends what you're trying to do. I think you should build something that is cool
Yeah,
and has aura if you're trying to get a job. Don't
Yeah.
build some generic Twitter clone.
exactly.
Don't build some page that looks like it was made in the early 2000s and has
Yeah.
an auth wall because I'm going to click it and then click off. Don't build something that ends in a Vercel.app link or whatever. I built a Rubik's Cube site for my first website when I learned how to code, algfinder.com. I think you should build something that looks visually beautiful because humans are easily biased, and so they will care more about how something looks than how complex it is. This is purely if you're trying to get a job.
Yeah.
But if you're not, I think you should build whatever stuff you enjoy, and we'll learn a lot. I'm working on agent orchestration software because I think that is some of the last relevant software that humans will make. And it is, I want to learn. I want to learn how that works.
That's crazy. So why do you think all software engineers are gonna get laid off? That's a juicy question, right?
I think a lot of
just
them
started thinking.
will because AI is better at coding than humans. And as they add more connecting layers and agentic capabilities, fewer engineers are needed.
I was thinking
What's the
about this the
future
other
then?
day. Yo, Adam, man.
What do you think is the future then
Of what?
of like software engineering? I just started my job, and you're talking
I
about.
think
Man's in
well,
school
that's
right now,
fine.
bro. Scaring him
I
off.
mean, you should just focus on, like, one, I don't know, I could be wrong, but two is I
Yeah.
think there'll be fewer engineers, and the people who are engineers are just higher peak talent. So I think, yeah, I mean, focus on upskilling, learning more. That's why I'm building agent orchestration software right now, because that's probably going to be useful for a bit longer.
Is that what your current company is? Extend or?
We do that. So to be clear, I'm second engineer at Extend. That's
Nice.
not my company, but I put visit my website because I'm trying to like help them get attention.
Yeah.
We do document processing, so we process things like PDFs, images, etc. with AI.
I see. How long have you been there, and do you plan to start your own thing at some point too if your stuff pops off?
Yeah, I've been there for a year and a half. It's
Nice.
really great. I joined because I thought they were the smartest team out of every company that I interviewed at. I don't know what I plan to do. I'll be there for a while. I like it. I think they're smart. But eventually, I would like to move away from engineering.
I see. Like be a
Yeah.
founder or something, or no more in the
No, maybe like not in tech. Go to my fourth career. I want to have like 10, 20 different careers. I think that's funny.
That's crazy. You
Will
just
you
how long do
finally
you
move
spend
to-
on each career?
A few years. Engineering has lasted the longest, but we'll see how much longer.
Did you make good
How
money
old
off
are you
your
currently?
or go ahead?
I'm asking how old are you currently?
I'm 28.
Yeah.
You're 28.
Same.
And when did you like started learning to code?
A few years ago.
Few years ago. Wow,
Yeah, like
without
3
a
years
degree.
ago.
That is crazy.
Like
Degree doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you're right. But in my country, it is like
Oh yeah, no, I know it's different in India. I understand.
India. Yep.
Yeah,
Bro, in
In the
India they
US,
check your like Codeforces ranking and stuff.
yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, they check Codeforces and LeetCode everything, right?
Yep. Exactly. Like even like when we talked last time, James was only aware about IITs, right? You guys hire from IITs. James.
Yeah.
Yes, you do, right? It's very specific to your college and degree.
Yeah, so in India there is like among students there is a tier kind of system, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and many people are kind of like biased. Many companies are biased towards tier 1 colleges. They're like, we're only going to hire from tier 1 colleges, and that's why tier 3 students have to like struggle a lot, I would say. And like it's funny to
Yeah,
it's
chat,
funny that
ask
in India
questions,
there is
ask
one exam called
questions.
JEE,
I'll ask 'em.
and that kind of determines your trajectory, like in the initial criteria at least.
Yep, it pretty much does.
Wait, chat's asking. Ask him how is going to program. Who is going to programming the AI agents and check that they don't mess up? Why wouldn't companies just use current engineers to 10x their products with AI? Probably for you, Ishaan.
I have to reread that. Who's going to program eventually agents will program the agents, which they're already doing. Why would
I have a
companies use
question,
current
like-
engineers? They already do. We 10x our productivity with AI.
So I have a question. Like after like this is the initial stage of AI, right? So after AI takes over everything, like hardware, software, let's say everything. What is the final outcome? Like if like yeah.
Doomsday.
I think it's probably good to invest in art, athletics, sports, building an audience, things that are human natured. That's why I'm building an audience. That's why I want to do that, because I think that is good insurance against AI.
Yeah,
Um,
true. But let's say there will be a point where like even AI can do like better art, or I don't know, human, like I know
No,
art
I
is
know, but
subjective.
if humans know that, there's probably going to be some legislation where you have to disclose if it's made by AI. And if humans know it's made by AI, there's studies that show they have less of a reaction. But
True, but I've also heard of a thing called universal basic income. Do you see that happen? Like, do you see that being a reality? Like in the, I think 50, 100, 150 years from now?
yeah, I think UB is could exist now. It doesn't have to exist because of AI. If AI is doing most of the productivity for humans, then sure, it could exist. I have no idea. It's really hard to predict. It's largely a policy and legislation thing. Maybe AI will be made illegal. There will be riots. Who knows? I have no idea.
But I feel like
Yeah, but
if AI could replace a software engineer, it could literally replace like most jobs,
Replace
like accountants,
anyone.
Yeah,
etc.
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
it is. It's replacing all of them.
It's replacing accountants too, because people
I
have
think
been
I,
saying accountants could get replaced, like even when software, even like software 1.0, 2.0, like before AI, we could have replaced them, but they're still around.
I mean, I think it's an issue of building the connectors. Humans are still needed to do certain things. Maybe some of them will be laid off because fewer humans are needed now. It will probably take time, but I think a lot of things can be automated. We'll probably have to revamp a lot of infrastructure, how programs are designed, how they interact.
I see. Once somebody was asking, what would you do to stop scrolling TikTok for 4 hours a day? If you were in that position, maybe
Oh,
someone's in that position.
I would just stop. Like, there's no, you're fully in control of your body. So if you don't do it, it just means you don't want it. That's
Wait, so
that's
you don't
true.
doom scroll
No.
at all? You don't doom scroll at all?
What's your day
Like
look
if you,
like?
yeah, tell us.
Yeah, yeah.
Wake up,
What time?
depends, like 9, maybe 8:30, it depends. Weekends later.
Okay.
Tomorrow will be later.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm staying up. Maybe make breakfast depending on how my stomach feels. I have Crohn's disease, so I have a lot of stomach problems. Work, come home, do LeetCode, run, code, work on something else, talk to friends, sleep.
Damn.
How long do you work in a day, you think? How many hours you put in your work and then on other stuff?
Maybe like 9 to 10.
I
Other
see.
stuff a few hours. Yeah.
So you're consistently working like 14. And if you include running, pretty much the whole day you're just being productive kind of thing.
Yeah. Running doesn't take so long. I try to just run fast. Like, I run based on miles.
Yeah.
So I just try to run faster so I spend less time doing it.
Smart.
That's smart.
So you've never
Yo,
been
Ishaan,
a
I
doom
have a
scroller or
question.
anything?
I have before, and then I realized it doesn't give me any happiness, or it's like a waste of time. So
Yeah.
I'm not like super, you have to always be hustling productivity. It's just not something that is going to give me deep fulfillment and enjoyment.
Yeah. Steven, honestly, if you don't want to scroll on TikTok for 4 hours, literally just delete that app, bro. I just literally delete all my social media, and the only time I ever want to touch it is when I have to re-download it, so it keeps me away from it a lot of the times. You could even go
Wait,
as far as blocking stuff on your router, block like certain websites like TikTok and stuff, so you don't get it. If you want to take it that far, but
Yeah,
so
but
James, you
you can
also
remove
you
those
also
terms.
what do you say?
You can remove
I'm
those terms. You can unblock it, right?
Yeah, but it just you have to go out your way. So for me, Instagram, Twitter, and stuff is blocked. Only on the weekends I can go on it.
I see.
On my
Alright.
network and
No, I need to learn from both of you. I'm a professional doom scroller.
I
But
mean,
when-
just don't do it.
yeah.
You'll build the resistance over time.
Yeah, you're
You'll
right.
only start realizing when it starts negatively affecting your life. Like I'm doom scrolling now. I couldn't achieve this. I couldn't achieve that. And
When
I
it's
got
too late. Yeah,
failed
you're
this
right.
interview. then you realize that it's a waste of time, then you delete it, and then you feel much better about it.
Damn, I need to do it.
No,
After this stream.
I wanted to ask Ishaan about some LeetCode advice, if that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
like-
He's the LeetCode god.
Like, yeah, of course he is. So like I've currently become a guardian, and like I don't know if you know about this, but there's an extension on LeetCode which provides the difficulty ratings of the questions,
Mm.
which are available on C-list, right?
Yeah.
So the hardest LeetCode questions I've seen like 3,000 rated, and the easiest, that doesn't matter. But if you're talking about the realm of LeetCode hards, they generally range from 2,000 to 3,000, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, I can mostly solve till 2,200, 2,300 sometimes, right? So how do I like at this point, I know some stuff about bind lifting, segment tree, Fenwick tree, those kind of stuff. But how do I solve problems which are like 2,700, 2,800, like those kind of problems?
And what is your rating right now?
My rating currently is 2168.
2168. Okay. I wouldn't try to solve 27 to 2800s. Those are pretty hard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be able to solve those all the time, right? Because I'm 2700, so that like means like you have a 50% chance to solve a 2700. So I would focus on solving problems maybe 100 points above your rating, and then keep
Okay,
repeating
so,
that
like-
until you're 2700.
Yeah, but I want to like transition into like solving 2,400s, 2,500s consistently. Like even I
Yeah.
can't solve 2,500s consistently. So
I mean, I don't think anything really changes about the way you learn problems. When you're a complete beginner, you know, you solve easy problems, then you get a little better, you solve medium problems. It's the same thing. You kind of have to apply your same learning framework at harder and harder problems. So maybe there's more advanced topics you need to be familiar with. I know you said like you've probably seen a good amount of them so far. But
right. So
yeah.
my strategy right now is just to grind LeetCode hards. Like because I don't feel like I would get any reward from just solving mediums and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just solve LeetCode hards right now.
I think that's fine. I think you can probably go do like 200 and you'll just get bodied a bunch and then you'll be way stronger after.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I did it.
Yeah. I plan to complete LeetCode hards at least. I can't obviously complete 3,000. I don't know how many problems are there on LeetCode.
Yeah, I don't recommend anyone do that. It's a complete waste of time for most people. Yeah.
That's crazy.
How is it for you? It's lots of people, or you're getting a lot of attention on it on LinkedIn, huh? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on my feed every day.
Right. So like, what do you mean by the question? Like, I didn't understand.
Oh,
He
no,
asked Ishaan about the attention.
How is the?
James,
So,
he's asking about
what-
the question you asked.
what was he asking?
He's asking what question did you ask Ishaan? He couldn't hear.
Oh, I was just saying like how the LinkedIn engagement has been going, and obviously, are you? Oh, someone in my chat's asking when are you gonna get on YouTube,
Yeah. Do you not upload on YouTube?
Sean? They're asking when you're gonna start YouTubing again.
Oh, I have a YouTube channel. I don't really use it. I used to post my Ruby.
I saw a video of yours where you said that you're gonna solve 3,000 like the remaining problems this year.
Yeah. Here, I'll put my channel in here.
Nice. So, what kind of patterns do I need to know? After like 2,000 rating.
What
What do I need to study after that? Should I, or what's my? Because right now I'm at 1,800, almost at 8 or 1,750. What is it gonna take me to get to that next step? You think?
I don't think you need to go seek out any specific patterns. Wait, hold on, I have to body someone in your chat who thinks I cheat. Okay.
Who's saying you're cheating?
So you don't need to. Okay, at your current skill, I would not say you need to like go learn a specific algorithm or something. I think you need to think about meta learning a bit more. Like you can probably just do any topic, pick any topic, trees, linked list, graphs, whatever.
Yeah.
Do a bunch of medium problems. That's probably around the difficulty you want to be calibrating at. Like harder mediums. You can use those like rating websites to check what those are. Just do a bunch of those and try to like if you can't solve it, spend a lot of time chain of thoughting, like how would I have been able to solve this? What is like the questions I can ask myself to reach that solution, and build that muscle first. And then probably when you're in like early 2000s, I would go maybe seek out a specific, more advanced topic like digit DP, you know, jump tables, whatever.
I see.
But for now, I think you need to work more on the like questions you ask yourself, problem solving techniques. I also see like you got 2 AKs recently,
Yeah.
which is good. You probably have the capability to figure out harder questions given enough time.
Mm.
So I think your speed will help you solve more and more quickly. That speed will just kind of come down over time as you do more
Nice.
problems. Yeah.
Yeah, I that's good advice of just take a problem, see where your thinking breaks down, and then just capture or just fill those holes kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because one I did that actually with some recent questions where like I was caring about the exact values, but then you really just need to care about the states, or you're like, oh, it's either in this state or not this state. So
Mhm.
I thought about it as state-based thinking, and that's helped me solve a lot of problems where you don't care about the value, you just care about what the state is. It's like how many odds or how many evens, but you don't care like what the exact
Yeah.
number is, and that actually helped me start solving a bunch of questions.
Yep.
How
And
fast?
also, like,
Or go ahead. Please.
yeah, I had a question. Did you ever not feel like quitting LeetCode? Because every other week I feel like, okay, I need to stop this stupid puzzles.
Yeah, I stopped for like 6 months at one period. I think I did maybe just a daily problem every day to keep my streak. But I wasn't enjoying it.
Wait, so you by stopped you meant you were doing POTD, but you stopped doing other random problems.
Yeah, I just stopped learning and like, or maybe I stopped doing contests and I just did the problem of the day because I didn't like it. And then I realized I was mistaken for my reasons and I came back.
Did you never ever like take a big break from LeetCode?
No, I have a 965-day streak right now.
Damn, I mean that's like what, 2-3 years?
Yeah.
3 years.
So
then.
what's your like framework for solving harder DP problems? Like, yeah.
I don't know if there's really a framework. I think you just do more hard DP problems and see what concepts are in there and you learn from that.
Like everybody knows about, let's say if I see a subarray, I know that okay, maybe I'll have a DP ending at index I and some aggregate, maybe something about, let's say. So when you do harder problems, like are there any such tricks or something like that that you can just instantly recognize?
Yeah, I mean, you recognize more concepts the more harder problems you do. Like segment trees plus DP is a pretty common hard concept. You can put a DP array inside a segment tree and operate on that. But I wouldn't say there's like a framework or
Okay.
anything. It's just, you got to do more questions.
I had a question, like in this era, like I'm still a student, I'm in my 8th semester right now, and especially in this era it's so overwhelming. I think I asked James to this last time. It's so overwhelming because every other month there's new technologies, there are news, like you just said, software engineering is gonna die and all that. That just puts a mental barrier that why am I even doing it? How would you have done it if you were in my position?
Well, one, I don't know if I wouldn't take my claim as true. That's just my opinion. And then I also think, obviously, I'm not familiar with the Indian job market. I live in New York, and I'm born in America, so probably some things don't apply. But if that is a fear for you, I'd probably learn how, because there's always going to be probably some engineers. I would learn what those engineers, what skills would they need. I'd try to learn that. So right now, I think that's being very familiar with agent technology, both as a user using things like Claude Code very efficiently, and also like understanding how agent orchestration, the actual code works. And then I'd probably lean into something else. Like I want to learn a lot more about sales. I want to build an audience, things that could be tech adjacent in a way, right? If you work at a startup, we sell software. So even though I'm an engineer, I still have to have a little bit of sales knowledge. I would lean into things like that too.
How do you feel about New York versus SF for being an engineer? Do you think
Mm.
you like it more in New York, or you miss out not being in SF?
I don't really know. I never really went to SF, so I guess I don't know what I'm missing. I moved here because my sister had a baby, and I wanted to train the baby at Rubik's Cube. So when she was born, I moved here,
Yeah.
but then the baby became an iPad kid, so it
Yeah.
didn't work. But she had a second baby, and so I'm hoping this second one picks it up.
Nice. She just
Yeah.
lives there in New York too.
Yeah, she lives here. She lives in Manhattan too, which is great. I get to see her.
So someone's asking, how do you use LLMs for learning something? Because LLMs often hallucinate.
Yeah, it's a little bit challenging. I think if you're learning something like easier, if you're a newer LeetCode user, it's probably great because it's just gonna nail whatever confusions you have. But if I'm trying to learn something like somewhat advanced or a little bit obscure, the LLM's usually not always right, and then I have to be kind of worried about its outputs and like challenge it. So it's actually not so great. But I think for most use cases, it's good.
Yeah, especially now that you're so experienced, you could see that when it's hallucinating, you go, that doesn't sound
Right.
too right.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see what else. is
And
there.
okay, I think I missed. I'm sorry, I probably am asking this again, but what jobs did you do before you became like a self-taught engineer?
I was a professional poker player, and then I ran a Pokemon Go boosting farm, and then I became an engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had like
Not
50
very
cell
unusual.
phones.
That's
I ran
crazy
a
transition.
Pokemon Go farm. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
Wait, chat's asking, have you done LeetCode 3235?
3235. Check if the rectangle corner is reachable.
This one's toxic.
Is that
Uh,
Oh yeah,
too-
I haven't,
this one's
I
pretty
haven't
hard. I know.
solved it, but this looks like you can just union find the circles and then check if it intersects with some edge cases around like going outside of the range, right? Seems pretty simple.
pretty simple?
Paul, what do you think?
Pretty simple.
That's pretty simple. No way.
You think people should even do Codeforces at all, or no? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, in India, I have no idea. It's way different. So I'm sure you guys
or just
get
in
it.
the U.S.
I think you should do it if you want to do it. I think, look, my philosophy for living life is I think you should just find something you really like and
Okay.
do it a lot and not worry about what is the end outcome of this, because that's very goal oriented and that's actually a trap. If you're very process oriented and you do something a lot, like I played a lot of Pokemon Go. I competed at Pokemon Go. That's how I started. And it resulted in this whole thing that I could never have predicted. Where I played a lot of poker in college. I started the poker club at Berkeley, and I just played it a lot. And that ended up me being a professional poker player. Or like Rubik's Cube. I met so many of my wonderful friends because of Rubik's Cube. So there's so many life outcomes that occur from just doing something you love a lot. And if you do something that you love, you'll do it a lot. And if you do it a lot, you'll be really good at it. And actually being really, really good at one thing gives you more ROI than being okay at a lot of things. The better you are at one thing, the more premium you can command for that. So I think if you like doing competitive coding, you should do Codeforces and do a lot of it. And I'm sure that will probably help your life in some way. You'll meet cool people. You'll probably meet a lot of very smart people. But if you don't like it and your heart's not in it, I wouldn't do it because you're just gonna half-ass it. And then what's the
With all the stuff that you pursue, you're not thinking about money at all. That you like, how do you make a living then?
Yeah, I didn't. Well, poker, I was a pretty good poker player. Like my income has gone down over time. I made a lot more money playing poker. So I started that, and then I had some amount of savings, and I started playing Pokemon. And one day I put a listing on eBay as a joke. I will boost your Pokemon Go account for like $5.
Yeah.
And they bought it. So I had to log out of my hacked Android phone, log into their account. They sent me their Apple ID to log in or whatever. And then that kind of blew up really quickly. So I was like, wow, I could probably make a lot of money from this, especially because whales are the people who will pay for this. And whales pay a lot. Like a lot of my customers were doctors, lawyers, stuff like that. That wasn't as much as poker, but it was still, quite a bit.
And then engineering is less than Pokemon Go
Yeah,
boosting.
engineering's less for sure.
Damn.
But I enjoy it more because it's more, I think coding is more dynamic. And I thought that boosting Pokemon Go accounts was a fun novelty and like a great dad lore story, but it wasn't. It's repetitive. It's kind of one-dimensional.
What pushed you towards engineering then? I'm pretty sure there must be something that interested you because you didn't do any degree in engineering, right?
Yeah. So when I solved Rubik's cubes blindfolded, I became really fast because I optimized a lot of algorithms. So there's like,
Yeah, yo, solve one right now, real quick. Let's prove it.
How long do you take to solve one?
I had the Guinness World Record for doing it blindfolded, which was
Dude, that's
22 seconds.
crazy.
But I can't do it anymore. That was like 8 years ago. But
Do you
basically,
want a race? I'm joking. I'm joking.
there's all of these little cases on the cube. So like 3 pieces are unsolved. There's like 878 of these cases. This is for blindfold solving. You don't have to understand how it works, but just know there's all of these cases. And a given case can be solved in many different ways. And so the way I got really fast is I basically optimized all of the algorithms to solve these cases. And I did that by hand. Like I'd have to come up with these algorithms, and that took a really long time. And so I started coding because I said, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want other people to have to do it. So I built a website, algfinder.com. I taught myself how to code just by building that. So that automates the process of finding those. It uses like search algorithms to discover those algorithms.
One question: have you ever thought of working at an HFT? Like, because
Yeah, I interviewed at a few HFTs, but I didn't like the people, so I didn't join.
on a side note, do you solve the Jane Street puzzles? Like,
I've looked at them. I've done a few, but not regularly. But I am a big puzzle fan. My personal website, I have a math puzzle, which I think probably the Jane Street people would like.
Like
I
growing
can
up,
never
were you pretty
get around
talented?
the puzzles.
No.
Did you have like natural gift that just studying and stuff? Like, did you notice that
No.
you're really?
I wasn't good at anything.
I think you're really good at maths. There's no way you deny that.
I mean,
I'm a math
you want-
enthusiast, so I enjoy it, and I think I can probably learn math quickly, but I'm actually like quite bad at math. Like I never learned linear algebra, even multivariate calculus, diffie-q. I never learned that. So now when I have to use those concepts in competitive programming, I have to kind of like go back and learn like Markov chain DP, matrix exponentiation. I have to like fill in the pieces because I never really learned it.
Did it does it help you with AI stuff at all? This stuff that you learned in competitive programming?
At our company, at Extend, we're a fairly technical product. We have like schemas, like you're going to define a schema for the data you want to pull out of a document, and that schema is recursive in nature. So actually there is a lot of LeetCode in our product, but otherwise I wouldn't say it really helps.
So when you hire, do you ask LeetCode?
No, it's not a good way to interview, in my opinion, for most companies. For big companies, maybe, because they need a filter that's fast and standardized.
Oh, really? Why do you think it's not good? I think it's decent because I've worked at small companies, medium companies, now large companies, and the companies that ask LeetCode questions, I just feel like I have better teammates usually.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think maybe in practice it's a good way to interview because it works empirically. Because if you can be good at LeetCode, you're probably just like good at other things. I think at startups, especially if you're recruiting early, it's not a great signal. I'd rather hire someone who is very scrappy and like works hard. But maybe for later hire engineers, it's I wouldn't say it's like actually that bad. But I have some personal frustrations. I think there's probably better ways to interview people in theory.
How does your company interview people?
Depends on the role, but
For like software roles, like
yeah, and it still depends on the software role. Like there's so many different roles and things we look for.
okay.
I ask coding rounds at our company. It's not really like super algorithmic like LeetCode. It's more just can you think quickly, stuff like that.
You let them use AI or not?
No.
Oh, really? No AI?
Why
where
not?
do candidates break down, kind of thing?
I mean, again, I mostly do our coding rounds. I don't do the other more important rounds, more systems oriented things. But if they break down in the coding round, it's usually just because they don't have the clock speed yet to answer those questions.
I see.
I understand it's like I'm not trying to be critical of them. It's a very nerve-wracking thing to interview, especially coding round. So I totally get it.
But don't you think in the future it's like pretty obvious that we'll have coding rounds would be assisted with AI? Like in India,
Yeah.
I've heard of a few companies that do let you use AI in coding.
We also
Okay.
ask, how do people use AI to code? What are share their workflows with us? What are their like takes? I think that's very important. Probably more important than.
What's your workflow with AI? Do you have unlimited Claude code tokens there at your job, or do you get?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm spending some time. I want to learn how to like run. Cloud Code released work tree features yesterday, so I want to be able to orchestrate all of these agents in tandem. But I mean, really, as I'm sure you know, like the bottleneck is not writing code. It's a lot of other stuff, reviewing code,
Yeah.
getting alignment with your team, stuff like that. So
Yeah. No, I agree. For me, like aligning what we actually need to build is like 90% of the work, and then I just pump it out using Claude Code these days.
yeah.
Do you think in future reviewing code will become more hectic and more important than just writing code?
I think it already is. I think a lot of companies are hitting that bottleneck right now, a lot of startups. But hopefully the AI just becomes better at reviewing code, and then humans don't need to do any of it.
How do you know that you have that bottleneck at your company? Is it you just see just way too much stuff for you to review, or is it
Yeah,
just-
I mean, I just think we're always bottlenecked on review, especially because our reviews have to pass through certain people, and those people get bottlenecked, which slows us down. Which is like, I'm not. They should pass through those people, but
But what if it's just a low lift feature? Can AI just review it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll move to a point where it's just like the AI reviews it and the implementer reviews it, and that's okay to merge. Like, okay, for example, I built a website, ocrarena.ai. I built that for work, but I was the complete owner of that. Like, I built and designed the whole thing, and I deployed all of the models. So it's a public leaderboard of OCR and VLM models. And I was like, obviously given autonomous access to just like merge and update things because I'm the owner of that. So I think it's all contextual.
Yeah. Okay, someone's asking, how do you deal with setbacks because you're a college grad? From a college grad perspective, because it seems you achieved a lot. So in your life, when you get set back, how do you deal with it?
My guess is this person is from India, and so my advice would probably not apply to them because I think the college system is very different there. So I'm sure you guys could give a better answer.
Okay,
Piyush,
I'm
where are you
currently
from?
dealing. Okay, you're asking.
Oh, no.
Do you guys know Swam Parekh?
Oh yeah, the guy who like moonlighted for 10 different YC companies.
Yeah, I find you similar. I mean, of course, you're not moonlighting, but you're as logged in as him.
Right.
Looks like. Yeah.
I'm not moonlighting as far as everyone knows. You can never know for sure.
No, for sure.
So okay,
Did he
someone's
ever work for
asking.
your company?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm asking Ishaan, did Soham ever work for your company?
No.
Imagine
We are a YC company though, so in theory we would have been a target of him, but yeah, we don't hire remote anyway, so it wouldn't have worked.
Someone's asking, how do you feel about the 3x3 single? Talking about Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, there was a recent world record by a 9-year-old. I made a LinkedIn post about his 3x3 solve of 2.76 seconds. I think he's very talented and has a bright future, and I think it's awesome.
Nice. Do you still have your world record for the
No,
blindfolded?
it was like 8 years ago.
I see.
I had it for like half a year.
How quickly did you solve it?
22.67 seconds. So that's around 8 or 9 seconds to memorize the cube, and then you put on the blindfold and then solve it in 13, 14 seconds.
Bro, that's insane. So what was your study plan for that? Every day just grinding it out? Or
yeah, I just optimized all of those 878 algorithms because I felt like the ones people used were slow. And so I spent time every day working on that, and that made my solutions more efficient. And I guess because of that efficiency, my solves were faster.
when were you doing
Can you
this? In high
describe some of the
school or-
algorithms?
This was in college. I learned how to do it in college, how to do it blindfolded.
That's
Can you
wild.
describe some of the algorithms? Like, What did you use?
Sorry.
Can you describe some of the algorithms that you use for
Yeah.
optimizing the scheme?
So in blindfolded solving, you're not tracking the pieces that move as you're blindfolded. You are like doing turns that only affect a small amount of pieces at a time. So I was able to only move these 3 pieces. And so the way you can manipulate 3 pieces is called a commutator, which is basically a subset of group theory, like mathematics, which I am not familiar with, because again, I'm actually not good at math. But these commutators have a well-formed pattern to them. So it's like some sequence of moves, call it A, another sequence, call it B, and then you do A prime. So you do A, but every move is backwards, and then you do B prime. And so if all commutators follow that structure, A, B, A prime, B prime. And if you do those in the right way, you'll get some sequence of moves that manipulates 3 pieces. It's actually, in competitive coding, it's actually very similar to cycle decomposition.
Never heard of those terms, but okay.
Yeah.
So what's sort of your plan for growing your audience these days? Which platforms are you gonna get on? Chat's asking.
Yeah, I've been posting on LinkedIn every day. I used to post infrequently, and I got to like 18,000 followers, and I felt, if I post every day, I will reach 100,000 followers pretty soon, which I think would be quite funny. Because I have never considered myself like a influencer or somebody who uses social media very much.
Yeah.
So then I told myself I'm going to post every day, except for weekends. So I've done that so far for the past 20 days. And then today I started posting on Threads, Mastodon, Twitter, Blue Sky in tandem. So I'm going to post on 5 text platforms. And then eventually I will post on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. I'll make some little videos, like doing LeetCode blindfolded. I enjoy doing that. And I think people will find that funny.
Oh yeah, this is one thing I need to learn as well from you, is like your effective learning systems. Could you just break down some maybe top couple learning systems?
Yeah, I think you should be really organized. If you go to GitHub, my GitHub, you don't have to do this, but if you go to my GitHub, I have a LeetCode repo, and I made a folder for every type of category when I started. So this is complete beginner. And every problem, I would put in my code. I'd put even 3-4 different solutions. I would force myself to write the time and space complexity of every solution. And if you can't do it, it means you don't really understand it. And I'd write out all of these notes to myself to like make sure I fully get it. Was there stuff I was confused by? That organized learning helps a lot. Even now, like my username, leetgoat.io. If you go to that website, I built, now this GitHub thing doesn't work for me anymore. So I built my own entire website. This is literally just for me.
Yeah.
And I feed in all of this data. I have these very specific problem tags, all of these notes, topics I feel I need to review because I didn't fully understand it. So I built this entire UI and UX just for myself. And I upload every problem I've ever solved to this website. And that helps me keep things together and understand connections, especially if there's difficult problems that I feel like I did not grasp the learnings from. I flag them and I review them and I make sure, can I rederive this from first principles? So I think organization is a key factor.
Okay.
What topic did you find like the toughest in the essay, if you ever did?
Yeah,
Find
well, when I started Codeforces a little bit, there's a lot of constructive problems. I think that's the toughest for me because constructive doesn't really exist on LeetCode.
Constructive.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
even know what that is.
Yeah, constructive problems trouble me a lot too, like constructive and ad hoc.
Yeah, constructive problems means it's usually like construct a sequence of numbers that follows some set of rules. They're very ad hoc, meaning there's no like specific framework or foundation you can use. There are a lot of one-offs. I do believe there's like some principles you can derive to solve these problems, but they're hard for me because I have less practice with them.
It's purely based on observation. Like if you can observe, if you can find a smart observation, then you can maybe find the sequence.
Yeah.
So, and generally the sequences are constructed and greedy. So
Mhm.
By the way, do you know how to prove greedy? Like, let's say if you have a greedy solution in mind, can you prove that greedy is optimal? Like,
It depends on the solution.
true, but okay. Like there are methods, right? Like greedy stays ahead and exchange arguments and those kind of stuff. Have you read about those?
I've never heard of the term greedy stays ahead. I think you mean that a locally optimal decision will always result in a globally optimal decision.
Yeah.
I haven't done any specific reading on that, but I think, that's a pretty simple concept. And I think exchange argument is also like, in my mind, exchange argument's not a concept. It's just like a way of, it's just like a proof of something.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean by exchange arguments?
I'll give you an example. So this problem I did recently that I thought was really great. Do you have LeetCode Premium?
Yeah, I have LeetCode Premium.
Okay. Do you want to open this up? Problem 3711.
Can you guys share the screen for a poor guy like me? I don't have premium.
Yeah, I can share.
Yeah, same.
Y'all don't have premium?
Nope. We barely just got a job.
Yo, premium is expensive, bro. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Like I use extensions to bypass the premium so that I can at least see the questions.
What's
But I
which
can't
question?
submit on them.
It's 3711. I know
The
this because
premium-
I looked on my website and I have everything organized. Okay. So it's a pretty simple problem to read, but the gist is you have these transactions that go up and down in value, and your starting balance is 0.
Yeah.
So you want to take positive transactions. It's increasing your balance. You can take negative ones, but you're not allowed to dip below 0 ever.
Okay.
Right? So if the first transaction is -5, we can't take this transaction. You have to skip it. And you want to know what's the most amount of transactions you can take. So this
Okay.
uses an exchange argument. It's basically saying, start by taking every transaction. Take all the positive and negative ones. But there's a moment in time. Like if you look at this first example, we take 2. Our balance is now 2. You're looking at this -5. We cannot take a -5. It's gonna drop us below 0.
Mhm.
But you can take that -5 and you can look at all of the previous negative transactions you've taken. In this case, we haven't taken any, but you could. Maybe we took a -1 before or a -10 before. If we've taken a -10 already and we can no longer take this -5, we should switch those. We should take the -5 and drop the -10 away, because that will not give us more transactions. We are losing and gaining 1 transaction, but our balance goes up by 5. So you're basically exchanging this value for another value. It's that's what it means by
Interesting.
exchange argument.
Dude,
Interesting.
that's sick. I never even came across a question like that. Try this out.
Yeah, I think this is a great.
James, do you actually do premium problems? Like LeetCode Premium is purely for those problems, right? And the editorial. Do you find it worth it?
Bro, look, I don't even look at my LeetCode history. I don't do that. Don't do LeetCode that much.
Okay, you're on Codeforces now. Yep.
Yeah. Even Codeforces, I'm a bit like, I don't do it too much. I only hop on just for the contest.
Yeah, I can see that.
My main goal is just straight try to do the contest, and like what is Ishaan doing? I just try to build random shit on the side too.
Ishaan, have you ever tried contributing a question? Like,
No. Yeah, I think
Oh.
it's pretty cool, the process of making questions, but I don't have that much time.
I tried to contribute a question, I think a few days back, but I know that the process of accepting that question will take 1 or 2 years. So
Oh,
it's as good as
yeah.
1 or 2 years.
like, because there's a lot of questions in the queue, right? So
Oh,
it takes a lot of time. So I don't see it happening in the next 1 year or 2 years.
Sure, we might get kicked off soon, but Ishaan, it was nice to, because this thing's ending. I don't
Yeah.
have free. It was nice to talk to you, man. Keep doing your
Oh,
thing on LinkedIn. Everyone,
Thanks.
go follow Ishaan. He's solving
I
every
already
single
know.
LeetCode. I follow him too, but yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. We should get you on again soon to chat about your progress, and I'll
Yeah,
have more
let's do it.
structured questions. But I know it's late for you, so have a good
Yeah.
night, man. Thanks for
Thanks,
hopping in.
Ishaan. Yeah, no worries. Have a good one.
peace.
Yeah. I mean,
We got kicked off. The thing was ending. Links? What's his links? Ah, dude, Ishaan, post. Oh, I'll post his links here for you. Ishaan, give me a link that has a link to all your links. Okay, I got you, bro. I got you. JN. Okay, this is a JN. Go put that feedback inside on my website. There's a feedback button. So I pinned Ishaan's LinkedIn. Everyone go follow him. But yo, one of my questions, if I'm 37 at DSA problem and want to be 3000, what can I do? What does that even mean, man? I don't get that. I don't get your question. Yeah, Sean's running it up. Link 3 is a 1.3 billion company. You could vibe code that literally in one day. Yeah, I gotta. So if you have feedback, just hop in the feedback and drop your feedback. So I'll post it in for you, James. Can you fix the? I'll go in a question right here. Put this. Dude, y'all don't like that effect? It's kind of sick. Honestly, I don't know how that effect happened though. I vibe coded this whole editor. Yeah, go blame Claude. Oh, chat. I got the Mac Mini. Let's go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook this up, and it's gonna answer it's gonna address all the feedback that gets submitted. It's gonna poll and address that. Yeah, that's what Paul. That was my point. I'm gonna automate a bunch of things. Alpha, you should get one too. I'm gonna automate this whole YouTube thing with this. Ishaan, I wonder if you have this as well. You could probably automate all your posting. What the hell's AI psychosis? I've been hearing about that, but I don't really know. Germ, what's up? Yo, mods are not doing their job. Mod, you gonna let this guy spam like that? Bro, I couldn't even. Mod's not doing his job, man. Holy. Oh, what did you do? Bro, he wasn't even asked that. Yeah, we have mods we had a couple mods in the. Holy. Yo, I didn't even. AI psychosis called. In an informal emerging term, user structures were interacting with AI bot. Trigger or worsen psychosis. Yeah, nah, this is a real issue. Yo, what was that guy even asking though? Was that a bot or no? I don't even understand his question. He's at 37 LeetCode questions and wants to get to 3000. There's no way to get, you just need to grind your questions to get up there. But what's the point of doing 3,000 questions unless you're making money off it? Or otherwise, if you're gonna do 3,000 questions, you're not gonna make $1. Then how are you gonna? You need to do something that's gonna feed you at the end of the day. Unless you already have money. Yo, Alpha, you'll body that one easy. So I got the Mac Mini Apple M4 chip. Okay, let's see some of these. Yeah, this guy answered. Wait, doesn't let me answer no more. Alpha, you know what you need to do? Don't even apply for jobs unless you have 3,000 questions solved. That's my advice that I'm gonna start giving people. Because you don't want to do a lot of people ask this in the chat a lot of times. It's so funny. They'll be like, "Oh, how many questions do I need to solve? Or I've solved 1,000 questions. Can I get a job at Fang?" It's like, bro, come on now. Rage baiting me. How long to get to 2K? Realistically, how long do you think it will take you to get to 2K? Yeah, 100%. Steven, where are you working at these days? And how's your work been for you? Have you been posting recently or no? Or in general, Alpha, somebody starting from zero. Alpha, I feel like you could probably hit like 3K, man. But this guy just said be organized. Starting from zero around 2 months is. If you can go from 0 to 2 months, that's just insane, bro. James, I have a 2,000 LeetCode solve. What project do I need for? Man, I agree 1,000,000% with what Ishaan said about what projects to work on. And I give that same advice every time. Why people have trouble figuring out what projects to work on? Just look around to see what problems there are in this world. See what problems your friends need solved. Do they run a business? Is there something that you could build for their business to 10x it? Yo, if you talk to anybody who's running a business, they're gonna come up with 1,000,000 things that you could build for them that will 10x their business. You know what I mean? Exactly. Build something that you will use. All the things that I built for myself personally is stuff that I would use as well. AI agent. Yo, Sean, we should put you through a coding interview. That would be funny. Let me know if you're down. Alpha, you gotta run one on him too. Are you gonna run one with Alpha and you're gonna run one with me? Alpha can ask the hard stuff because he understands those, and I'll ask just the basic. I'll ask you Fang level interview. So, what do you mean by it's a human concept, hustling? Honestly, I rather not live in a village. I'm from a village. I know what it's like to live in a village and live in small towns. I like to live in the city where lots of things are happening. People are building stuff and I get to try out what they're building. I build stuff and try out what they're building, like interacting with humans. You know what I mean? That's what I prefer. I get bored easily, and I like to live in cities where things are happening. And hustling makes me happy. I don't think I'd be happy if I wasn't hustling. And I know that because there's times when I'm not hustling and there's times in the past. Flying Beast, why do you repeat the same question multiple times? What's my point prefer quality on Okay, Flying Beast, ask your question once and structure it really well so that I can understand what you're asking, then we'll answer it right away. Yo, the mod's doing his job. Let's go. Holy, the mod finally used his powers. It's crazy. That was so funny. Alpha, what have you been up to, man? We gotta catch up soon. So, Alpha, you just been grinding out content? Let's go. Why cut down, though? Don't worry, this is my burner, man. Of course I'm sub to you. But I'll sub on my burner, too. It's just boring? No, this is my burner, bro. No, yo, your content is... Bro, just keep pumping it, man. Alpha, I think you could ride this. You could keep riding this wave. People, you get really good engagement. I don't know. Yeah, alpha's I think this mock interview with Bloomberg is also feeding into all the other ones, but just keep riding the wave. Yo, you have a lot of momentum. Just keep riding that momentum, man. Trust me, this sort of momentum is not easy to get. You should keep riding that momentum. ChatGPT Atlas verse. Ishaan, LinkedIn who for Alpha make LinkedIn posts? Yeah. Do y'all actually have y'all met in person? But Alpha is kind of anonymous though, so posting on LinkedIn and is not. I feel like for you, you have your face there. LinkedIn is more like personal. You kind of have to show your face. That's also why I don't really post on LinkedIn as much. But on YouTube, I feel like YouTube it's more of a personal. LinkedIn feels more personal to me than YouTube. YouTube is doesn't feel personal to me at all. That's why I don't really mind posting on YouTube. For example, people always tell me to post on Instagram, but Instagram is way too personal for me. I like to keep my Instagram just straight kids I know from high school and stuff like that. Do you F with Coco banana eating bananas problem? I like the question. Binary searching on a value. It's a really good thing to learn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, Paul. Alpha, yeah. I don't know. Honestly, what you have, you're able to blow up your channel without you showing your face is honestly better, because when AI comes out, you could just you should use 11 Labs to make content for you, like teaching data structures and algorithms. Use 11 Labs to clone your voice and teach data structures and algorithms, and then since you have a no face no case. Yeah, exactly. They will never know it's an AI because they don't even know what your face looks like anyways. But 11 Labs is sick. Alpha man. Yeah, exactly. The one thing, honestly, there's a couple people that I know. JP. I like this guy a lot. JP Finance. He just talks about finance essentially. He just gives like financial advice, and he's blowing up his thing, and he just does no face no case too. But yeah, it all depends. I don't think I would have got my YouTube would have done well without showing my face, but you were able to do it, so I think it's a win-win. But it all really depends the content you want to make. I kind of want to spin off my content into just literally doing random stuff. Might even crash out on random stuff, you know what I mean? So I need people to know my face and stuff. I didn't want to just stay doing tech content. So yeah, Alpha, honestly, dude, the most important thing is not views, is not subs, it's watch hours. So if you have a lot of watch hours, you're fine. That's why I posted super long videos. But the one thing about views and the one thing about subscribers is it's just social proof. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything for money. So what I care about is just straight money. Like why would I want a lot of views if you get no money off it? Then I'll just make random viral content and just try to go viral each time. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so you're just trying to build wealth is in the mind, not the pocket. 100%. As long as you're happy, you're good. 100% I agree with you. So I guess if you're happy getting 200K subs but making no money off it, I mean, that's good for you, but I want to make money off it. Oh, was a surprise to see Madeline Zhang's post on LinkedIn. Yeah. I was there. I was there. Alpha could have been there too. Y'all like y'all I was gonna get her on the stream. She said she's a little bit nervous with the live streaming stuff, but she'll hop on the stream. Let's see. She got on some heels, so she was as tall as me pretty much. Y'all follow her? Y'all follow her content or what? I was gonna get her to hop on the stream at some point. But she worked at Google, now works at Airbnb. So a couple of these people I probably will collab with, like This person is a NASA works at NASA. He's a NASA engineer. This is like the AI. I think her name's like Silicon Valley Girl or something like that on Instagram, maybe YouTube. How did she find you? Just on LinkedIn. We just connected on LinkedIn and then we were just chatting on LinkedIn. And then yeah, when the event came to town, she invited me. She's like, "Yo, you should pull up." I was like, "All right, say less, for sure." I'm trying to go to these events so I could find more people to collab with. Cause it's honestly collabing is the best way to grow your channel. Oh, who's Silicon Valley girl? This person right here? That's her, right? This one? Tell us about the event. Oh man, the event was just okay. This was the event. So they booked out a whole restaurant, and pretty much right beside us was the Fanatics event. So like Leonardo DiCaprio, like all the A-listers were on that side. There's some famous people in this on our side too, but right beside us was all the A-list celebrities, man. Like Leo DiCaprio, Lil Baby, Meek Mill, um, Travis Scott, all those A-lister celebrities. They're literally in the building right beside us. But these two parties were happening at the same time. But to get in was like crazy security. So I pulled in a Uber and they stopped us probably like a mile back, a mile back from where we could even get into it, and they ID'd us and then they pull us in front of the restaurant. So that was already crazy. I never been into a gated like a place where they had to block off like a whole mile from the place. And then it was super caged in. And then you just walk in and then you just since I was part of the event, I just said my name and my ID and then you just get in. I mean, there's free drinks, there's free food. In this area where they're taking the picture from, there's a DJ. This is the CEO of YouTube. This other guy's pretty famous. The food was pretty good, but I was just straight up just I was drinking a bunch of skinny margs. What else? Yeah, there's a couple floors. Then there's you just everyone here is a YouTuber, or yeah, everyone here was a YouTuber. So lots of different people you meet and a lot of people you can collab with. So a lot of times you just walk up, what are you up to? What's your channel about? Then you just I don't know, you just meet. It's interesting. It's fun to meet other people who are doing the same thing as you, cuz not often you meet other people doing YouTube, you know what I mean? So this was I barely know anybody doing YouTube. Only online. Like Alpha and those other people like Alex. And I like to collab with as much people as possible cuz I feel like collab is the best way to grow and just it's funner that way. But yeah, pretty much we went to this party. This party was like 3 4 hours. Then we all jumped on we all jumped on some buses. They put us on like coach buses and they took us to a flag football game. In the flag football game, there's like we had our own section. There's free drinks and food there too. But then there's like Drewski, J Balvin, who else? Kai or not Kai Sinat, like all but those level kind of all the streamers and famous YouTubers were there playing a flag football game like Marlon, Jay Cinco and stuff. We just pulled up, talked to them a bit too, like hopped onto the field. I don't know. It was just a networking event type thing. But it was pretty crazy. It's the first time I've ever been to one of those. But what's the story of getting invited there? So I got invited by Maddie. So yeah, this was the flag football game. So we are just talking on LinkedIn, talking about a collab and stuff, and then she just said, "Oh, you should come out to this event that's happening in San Francisco." But because she's pretty big on like Instagram and YouTube as well. On Instagram, she probably has like over 100,000 followers, and she just said, "Yeah, come out to this thing." Well, she just told me to apply. You kind of had to apply, and then they look through your analytics and look through your YouTube and stuff like that, and then they pick out the ones that they want to go there, I guess. But um, yeah, Sean, man, for sure. Yo, just message me. You can hop into these. You can hop into these for sure. It's pretty fun. If there's one in New York, I'll invite you to it. Ishaan, you're gonna you can blow up on YouTube, man. Like everyone. That's why I want to get you onto the stream so bad because I know all the people who are on my channel would love to watch your stuff too. Because they're all like the grindy type, so they'll like your stuff as well. Like you're just focused on building skills and just, yeah, just building skills. I think that's what everyone comes here for, honestly. Honestly, Alpha, some chats are probably sweatier than these. A, a bunch of people on this chat actually do other stuff as well. But yeah, this YouTube event was pretty sick. I just got invited by yeah. Yeah, I got invited by Maddie, but I needed to submit. She just gave me a link because she knew an insider, and I took the link and I applied to go to the event, and I only got invited probably like a day or just the night before. I got the invite. I was like, oh, I got hyped. So I had to buy some new shoes, get a haircut, and then just pull up. It's fun. Any more questions about the event? Yeah, but Maddie also pops up a lot on people's feed probably because she's just been popping off from MIT as well. She's pretty smart. She started she started the same. Wow, she's a valedictorian. That's crazy. She's pretty social, honestly. So on LinkedIn, we would just get posted. So we would just some people would post us in the same poster, like thank you to James and Maddie for the content, and like it would just be in a group post. So that's where I found her LinkedIn. I saw her on some other stuff before, and I was like, oh yeah, we got this. That's how we kind of got connected. And she discovered. I don't know if she discovered me on LinkedIn on my YouTube because she commented on a couple of my YouTube videos as well. So I don't think it's not just it's just LinkedIn, not just LinkedIn. She probably saw my YouTube as well. But yeah, if you just post on I think being discovered on LinkedIn, what Ishaan is doing is a good strategy because not as many people are posting on LinkedIn as much. Like there's less people posting on, or I feel like it you can get a good wedge on LinkedIn, or not as much people are leveraging LinkedIn as much. So I think it's if you post good content, you're gonna show on people's feed. That's I don't know. Ishaan, do you feel the same way or not really? Cause YouTube, everyone's post. You're gonna get hidden. Damn, you post on Reddit too? All right, what's everyone having for dinner today? Man, I'm kind of feeling like a cheat day. Kind of feeling like some Wingstop or something. Eating pasta? Get a double double. Uh, Yo, Sean, is there any cool events in New York? I'm gonna be in New York from March 12th to March 21st or something like that. If there's any cool events or you want to party, maybe I'll throw a party. How much is bottle service out there? Yeah, like, come through to the office. Have you ever been to the Meta office? I'll take you out for lunch or dinner out there. Have you ever been to the Meta office? Yeah, I'll take you to the office. I heard there's a nice view. Well, we can eat some food and just yeah, we can meet up. I'll message you, bro. Farley apparently got steak. Yeah. I'm sure there's gonna be more YouTube events, but Sean, I swear, just start pumping out YouTube content, man. Do you use a lot of AI for posting on LinkedIn and stuff too? What kind of post does Sean post on? I'll show you quick. Alex, so he's pretty much solving every LeetCode question. So he's at 3,000 LeetCodes. Here we are at endgame now, bro. You're not at endgame. You got 800 left to go. That's a lot. But I wonder where you started. But this is funny. He did a LeetCode on the plane. Who took that photo for you, man? Who took that photo for you? You get a random person to take that photo for you? But it's crazy. Reaching 108, the flight attendant. And read for 5 minutes. I like that. Look at this. No, that's wild. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Yeah. If that answers, it's a lot of LeetCode content. Also his Rubik's Cube stuff. He set a world record for Rubik's Cube. Yeah, Sean, do you have something about your study process? I want to, your advice was be organized, but I really want to dig into that even more. But we'll talk about that. Okay. Somebody was asking, yeah, I'll get a one-on-one interview for sure. I'll talk to them. And we'll figure out the best topics. Okay, somebody, this is a good question. Do you agree with Ishaan that AI is taking over people's jobs? On it, for sure it's taking people's jobs. I agree with that 100%. And I don't know. The way I look at it, I feel like I personally am gonna have a job. Like I'm not worried about my job personally. For people, for new grads and stuff, I don't know. For me, I'm just super optimistic though about software and the industry. Like it's really hard for me to see a world when I could see the job changing for sure, but I just see what I see is a world where the AI is so good and humans are like orchestrating multiple AIs. They're pretty much managing AIs to do things for them. And there's always going to be some value in humans orchestrating that whole process of like orchestrating that, like sitting on top of the AIs and just making sure the AI is doing. Because at the end of the day, we want to use AI to drive. Yo, chat and ask in the AMA so I can so it doesn't get lost. You know what I mean? Because it gets lost in the chat when people talk fast. Shit, I got lost. I lost my thinking. But honestly, I'm not. I agree that AI is going to replace jobs, but I still think that humans. It's just a short term thing. I could see a world when we like right now it's really displacing software engineering, but when it kind of settles down, I think it's gonna settle down at some point. Like we can't just keep growing it exponentially like this. We're gonna settle down to a point where everything's gonna kind of settle, and I think it's kind of settling right now, where a lot of the hype is like we're starting to figure out what exactly they use it for, and then some jobs there's gonna be new roles and functions that are gonna be created, and then people are gonna work those jobs. I don't know. That's kind of a bad answer, but I'm a little bit more optimistic about software engineering careers. But that being said, I'm gonna save my money. The money that I make as a software engineer, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna make sure I don't have to work a job. Just in case I get fired, man. Can you dive into why you're not worried about your job and AI taking your job? I think I'm not worried about AI taking my job because at the end of the day, the way I think about it too is you're not really in competition with the AI, you're in competition with other people. So when you work at a company and there's 10 people, if you can use AI better than everyone on your team, you're going to have a job. And it's not really about even just AI in general. If I still look at it as a distribution. If you could just stay above average at what you have to do, you're going to have a job. So just it doesn't if you could do that without using AI, that's cool. You're always going to have a job. But if you can use AI to be a top performer, yeah, exactly. So I'm not worried about my job and AI taking my job because I feel like I'll always find a way to make money some way somehow. But one thing that Ishaan said, which was that like the talent density is or the cutoff for your talent is going to be a lot higher, so they're only going to before they're the top 40% of engineers are getting hired. Now only the top 30% of engineers are getting hired. Now and the top 20% of engineers are being hired. It's definitely trending that way. You have to be it's a competitive market these days. In any competitive market, you need to be at the top in order to succeed in that market. Before it wasn't as competitive because there's so much demand. So people, even lower performers, were getting jobs, but it's tightening up a lot, and that's just how the industry is tightening up. I would say if it's maybe at some point you'll need to be in the top 10 or top 5% of software engineers in order to get a job. But that's just how it's going to be, I think personally. There's a lot of people I saw some interesting LinkedIn post about this as well, about how the market is correcting. There was just way too much oversupply of people who took the job, there's so much people coming out of boot camps. Everyone was coming out of college, and every college was offering software engineering degrees. There's like 300,000, 400,000 people looking for software engineering jobs. And that's just not how it is these days. Things have changed a lot. The industry has changed a lot. You need to be at the top of the field in order to get a job. And that's no different than becoming a doctor. That's no no shots at you, man. That's no different from becoming a doctor, becoming an investment banker. Those are very competitive markets, and you see what it takes to get a job at those. The reason why we needed to do we had to hire so much software engineering was because software engineering was so tedious, man. Like to work on a single product and maintain it, you need so many engineers, and then it's just so tedious maintaining a product. And as the product gets bigger and bigger, you just need to hire more software engineers. But now it's not like that. It's not as tedious, and we don't need as much software engineers, honestly. So I think it's gonna go down a lot. But I mean, most of you are here because you're not just trying to be average. You're trying to be great at software engineering. Otherwise, you wouldn't be consuming LeetCode content. You wouldn't be grinding out LeetCode on a weekend. So I'm sure that if you put your mind to it, you're gonna get a job as a software engineer, and you're gonna get paid a lot for what you do. So when it comes to AI, how are you using it on the job? Are you doing a majority of coding with AI now? Yeah, I use AI. I try to use AI as much as I can. For example, I would take a whole project specification that usually would take me a month. It's like the APIs, this is how the front end is gonna look. These are the different things. Then I would break it. I would tell it to come up with an execution plan of the different PRs we need to land, because we still need to break it down into executable chunks. And I just let the AI run off and like stack a bunch of diffs. Then I'll have the whole project that would take a month done in like a day, and stack all the diffs on top of each other. Then I just review them, and then it looks good to me. That's my process. And honestly, things have changed a lot. That was not my process in 2025, but starting 2026, that's been my process. Yeah, this was asked. How hard was it? Microphone. Let me make sure the right microphone is in use. Yo, man. Ishaan, thanks for hopping on. It was nice to talk to you. Good luck with all the stuff you're going on, and let's keep in touch for sure. Thanks for hopping on. Have a good night, man. Yeah, I'm sure everyone enjoyed the convo too. We'll get a one-on-one also, because a lot of people are asking for that too. How hard was it to move to the US from Canada, currently a CS undergrad at the University of Toronto? James, stream basically Instagram. What do you mean stream is basically Instagram? Oh shit. I got that. How hard was it to move to US from Canada, currently a CS undergrad at the University of Toronto, and don't think living in Canada my entire life is a move? Yeah, 100%. I didn't see myself living in Canada just because all the things that I was interested in was happening in the US. All this cool tech companies, all the opportunity that I was interested in. happening in the US. Honestly, coming from Canada to the US is not that hard because of the NAFTA trade agreements, but I don't know. We'll see if they fix those up or Trump decides to take those down. But right now, it's pretty easy to get across the border. You go to a great school, the University of Toronto. That's where all the AI godfathers are from. I mean, you're gonna make it far. That's pretty much Ivy League school out there in Canada. So you watch Coding Jesus? I don't watch him that much, but I've watched some of his videos and for sure I know who Coding Jesus is. It seems a lot of people use AI in school and don't know anything. It seems like you need the fundamentals first, then AI. Honestly, it's not a problem. That's not a problem that's new. A lot of people come out of school and don't know anything anyways. They can cheat their way using Google before, but I mean AI just helps them cheat a lot faster, I guess. So, but are you saying people know less things now? Might be the case. Might be the case. I would say when I first started learning how to program, I didn't even use the IDE. So learn how to build stuff without using IDE, typing things out by hand. And yeah, honestly, I don't even use AI that if I'm trying to learn something, I don't use AI that much, but it's so hard honestly these days. I use AI to teach me things though. Like for Codeforces and like learning Spanish and also learning the code base, I use AI to teach me things about the code base. But when it comes to generating code or yeah, I would use the AI to be my tutor, but then also use the AI to accomplish things as well. Because you need to balance your day between learning stuff and accomplishing stuff. Or learning stuff and executing. You can't just spend your whole day just learning. You gotta learn, execute, learn, execute. That's like when you're studying LeetCode, practice some theory, then implement. Learn some theory, then implement. So use the AI to be your tutor. The one good thing about AI is that it could tutor anybody at any level. So now you have a tutor that's always on that could always teach you things. And then, yeah, it's been a really good tutor for me. Hope that answers your question. How was contest 490? How was question 490? Contest 490? Easy, pretty easy. Pretty easy. Hopefully they don't change the test cases and my solution holds, but I don't know. Pretty easy one. I got 4 out of 4 AK. Man, okay. A lot of people been asking me about this. Social media is a drug and highly addictive. Were you always good about avoiding it? Do you have any tricks or methods to get into the study flow or reduce distractions while studying or coding? Man, yes, I've been addicted to social media before. Social media came out when I was in junior high and high school. I was on Facebook in elementary and I was probably the first generation of people. So I feel like my generation was the first generation to get hit by social media. Maybe it's gotten worse, but yeah, I was on social media like Instagram, stuff like that. And it did affect me to a point where I noticed it had negative effect on me. And the main way for me to avoid social media is literally just delete it. So when I was in college, during exam season, I would delete Instagram, uninstall it for a whole month. Like what? Why do people just not delete the app? I mean, and honestly, I think people don't want to delete it because they have FOMO, and I had the same FOMO. I was like, oh, if I delete Instagram, people will not keep up any, or I'll lose touch of people, or if I delete Snapchat, people will message me and I'll lose it. But honestly, just delete it, and then you're gonna find out that it did it. You don't need it all along. The the first time my main strategy is just delete the stuff off my phone. So I don't have Instagram on my phone. I don't have LinkedIn, or I have LinkedIn, but I don't check it that much. Any app that I will use a lot, I delete it. Right? That's my main productivity hack. Delete it. I even went as far as going on my router and blocking those social media websites during the weekday so I don't use it. And over time, then you just get less dependent on it. But the first time I ever deleted all of my apps was in 2018, and it was the best thing I ever did for myself. I was able to just lock it in 2018 or 2017 was when I read my first machine learning textbook. And the only way I was able to do that is because I deleted all my social media, and it was the best feeling. It was the best feeling ever. James gave a whole chat GPT answer. There's not chat GPT. It's just transcribing what I'm saying. But I don't know, man. Delete your social media. That's the main thing. You have to prime your environment. So some of my productivity hacks is to prime my environment for productivity. So that means removing distractions away from you. So if you get addicted to your phone, take your phone and throw it on the couch. Don't touch it. One thing that I did in the last couple months was that during work, I would keep my real phone in my bag, and I just had my work phone on my on me. So then I wasn't even checking my then I stopped looking at my phone, and after some time you can take your phone back, and then you're not addicted to it anymore. You just got to kind of break that cycle. You have to prime your environment. You have to make go read the book Atomic Habits. It should help you out. Essentially, you just want to make good habits easier to do. So make your good habits easier to do by priming your environment so that your good habits are easier to do, and that you get rewarded for your good habits. And then set up your environment so that your bad habits are harder to do and that you get negatively affected for your bad habits. So, yeah. So one way to make your bad habits harder to do is delete the apps off your phone, block it off your phone. Then it takes you a lot more effort in order for you to it takes a lot more effort in order for you to like perform those bad habits. So I think that's the main thing. Those are my main productivity hacks. Do I think software engineering will be obsolete next year? If I thought that software engineering would be obsolete next year, I would have been dipped out of this industry and trying something new. But I'm still very bullish on software engineering. Yeah, what else do I do for productivity hacks? Man, like honestly, I'm obsessed with productivity too. That's also one thing that I would even back in the days. I would even when I was on the if I was taking the bus to school, the train to school, I would study on the train. I'm not wasting no time. Oh, another thing that I have on my phone is I have all notifications blocked. So go to your notifications and just turn off all your notifications by default, and then just turn on the ones that you really need. Maybe your Gmail, maybe your text message from your mom. Just only enable the ones that you truly need, but start with default all notifications off, and then just turn on the ones you need. That's another productivity hack. What's the number one that I learned lately? What have I been doing lately? Man, I read this book on deep work. This book called Deep Work, and I used a lot of the productivity hacks there. The main one that I remember right now is just was just using my work phone, having my work phone on me more like most of the time instead of my actual phone, so that I can't really check my work phone. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't want to. There's nothing for me to check on my work phone. So I mean, it was taking because my main thing that I was having issues with these days was just looking at my YouTube analytics. I was addicted to looking at my analytics, trying to see what's popping off, trying to see if my subs are going up. I was checking that like every 2 minutes. You know what I mean? So even to a point where I would delete it off my phone, but I would just keep downloading back every 5 minutes. That's one thing I was addicted on. So I realized I didn't want to be addicted on that. I just want to push out videos and just let like wherever it ends up, it ends up. I just want to focus on the content. So in the last couple months, I was just really figuring out ways to just focus on building and working on things, and then not focused on any analytics and stuff like that, because that just gets distracting as well. So yeah, I mean, my main thing was just keeping my work phone on me. But yeah, I don't know. Social media, obviously, social media can be very addicting. Just convince. Yeah, social media can be very addicting. Trust me, I know because I lived in a social media era as well. It's possible to get unaddicted to social media though. You just have to understand that if it's having a negative effect on your life, and then cut it out, delete it. So, chat, answer this question. Why are you on social media though? Is it for the dopamine? Like, is it just the content is funny? Are you really talking to people? I mean, if you're talking to girls and stuff, sure, you should keep it. But if you're just doom scrolling random TikToks or something like that, maybe not. If you're sometimes I gotta learn to point where my brain doesn't work, and I try to restore myself without going to dopamine. What do I do to wind off? My wind down routine is honestly it's the gym. The gym for me is my meditation, my healing. So, all right, Alpha. Maybe if you're free tomorrow, we can chat up too. But, uh, y- I'll catch you. I'll catch you soon. We gotta run another collab again soon. But nice to talk to you again. It's easier to do than the actual work. Yeah. Good luck, man. Everyone got something they're addicted to and they want to cut down. For Alpha, it's running mock interviews. Oh man, that's funny. Yo, what's everyone's main reason for being addicted to social media? Is it because you have like a FOMO with your friends? Do you need yeah, what is it? Honestly, I haven't been on social media that much anymore, but my social life has improved a lot without social media. Cause then you just make better in-person connections, right? You're addicted to games. I've been addicted to games too. Paul, what are you playing? Paul, I've been addicted to games like crazy too. Like Fortnite, I used to social media. It's your dating and social funnel. Yeah, Alex, you're not addicted though. You're not doom scrolling. I'm just talking to people who are doom scrolling. Yeah, I was addicted to gaming at some point as well. Like I was playing Fortnite from I would play Fortnite from I would leave work early so I could start playing Fortnite. So I would leave work at like 4 p.m. and I would play Fortnite up until like 3 a.m. Almost a 12-hour shift. Then I would sleep and I would wake up tired for work because I was playing Fortnite till 3 a.m. and only had like 6 hours of sleep. Then I would have to wake up and go to work. And Steven said video games ruined his life. Yeah, Steven, I remember you had a video when you were talking about you were really addicted to video games, but now you found a way to be addicted to like building things the same way you're addicted to video games. Bro, you're still playing RuneScape? I used to play RuneScape when I was a kid. RuneScape 1. Yeah. Why do people say social media ruins your mental health? Paul, you're literally working at a social media company, man. I don't know. Where's it's all obviously it's just for the money, man. Like let's just be real. Yeah, I played League of Legends. What's Punit Superstar? Yeah. Social media is will get you cooked 100%. I mean, there's probably studies on it as well. Yeah. There's obviously, I mean, honestly, for anything in this world, there's benefits and then there's downsides. There's obviously a lot of benefits for having social media as well. I mean, like with social media, you can connect with people you would never connect with. You can connect with people longer. I mean, you can reach people you'd have never reached before. I mean, like I met all y'all through that, and I don't know. I love engaging with y'all. But so I would say with anything, you just want to use it to your advantage. Use use everything to your advantage, and whatever downsides it has, try to avoid those. I mean, social media has some advantages. Use it for that. The moment it has some disadvantages, try to stay away from that. I think it's kind of simple. Yeah. Is my personality different in person? No, I don't know. It depends. Maybe, maybe not. I think it's a it's a weird it's not something it's not the same thing. It's not a regular thing to ask though. Gershi, what's up? Because my personality on YouTube is based on YouTube content and based on what people ask me. So I'm in a different context. If I'm in real life, things are different. You know what I mean? Yeah, like the situations I'm in real life are way different than the situations I'm in. Oh, nice. When I'm like answering questions here, so of course it's gonna be different. Yeah, but social media helps you connect with people, helps you like learn new things. Like imagine doing LeetCode and there wasn't no community like this. How are you gonna ever get answers? Yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn. He's talking about social media addiction for sure. Are people actually? How do you know you're addicted to social media though? I wonder if I'm addicted. Okay, everyone, what's your screen time? I probably have a lot today. How are you gonna flex on the haters without social media? It's funny. Yeah. Honestly, dude, there's so much people in this world who's used social media to turn themselves into millionaires, you know what I mean? So, like even look at traditional media. Now we can get information from not traditional media but from YouTubers, you know what I mean? And everyone kind of has a voice for better for worse, but there's more diversity in thought, I feel, because everyone could just say their ideas out loud, and we don't have to watch it all from the same news source every single day. So we all get different perspectives. So I mean, at the end of the day, there's pros and cons to anything. I think it all depends on how people use it. But honestly, being addicted to anything is bad. Yeah, no one even trusts news sources anymore. It's wild, yeah. It's super interesting topics, man. See what else we get in here. Do I have a Roth IRA? I don't know if I have a Roth IRA. I think you need to, for any of the IRA accounts, there's a limit on like 140 grand or something like that. And I'm a little over that. But my main investments is 401k. I do Roth 401k because I'd rather pay the tax now and let it just grow. So I'd rather pay the tax now and let that thing grow. Um, so I have a Roth 401k and I do a mega backdoor. So that just like I get taxed and then it moves it to the Roth 401k. But I like to do I don't like the tax deferred account. I like the accounts that are tax free. So ones that you pay the tax now and you put it in that account, and then when you pull it out later, you don't get taxed. So I invest a lot in Roth 401k. How to beat an addiction to gooning? Go get girls in real life, man. Then you won't need to goon again. Unless I know some people they are with the girl and still be gooning though. So really depends on how high your sex drive is. But that's a funny question. Honestly, there's a lot of videos like that on YouTube. It's like how to beat your addiction to gooning. Um, why I stopped gooning and it changed my life forever. Shit's hilarious. Is I think honestly I use Claude Code, Alex. I'll figure it out. Here, let's just ask Claude right now. E- All right. Do you think in the next 5 to 10 years, with how AI is progressing, developers are cooked to a point where we will need one product manager and 1 to 2 really good engineers on a team to build features or products? And if that's the case, What do you think is the best thing to do now in this unpredictable market where everything is going? Man, it's really hard for me to say. But me personally, I'm gonna try to stick this out for as long as I can. And I still think that if you feel like you could be good in this field, you should still try to be a software engineer. It's still I still feel like it's one of the best jobs to have. I'm still bullish about the job. I think at the end of the day, more and more things, more and more software is going to come into this world, so we're going to need more and more software engineers to manage that software. What exactly a software engineer going to do, it might change over time, but more things are being encoded in software. More and more software is being built out in this world. Just look at the world. How many things in this world should be software, but it's not? There's a lot of things that are still manual. And the reason we didn't build software for it is because it didn't make sense. It didn't make no money. But lots of software is gonna be introduced to this world. People are gonna have to maintain it. People are gonna be managing it. The role of a software engineer might change. There might be, I think more and more people are gonna be working in tech. So I would still say get into tech. Obviously, technology is gonna be here for a long time. Technology is here. There's going to be a lot more jobs into it. There might be a lot of different roles within tech. I mean, there's software engineers now, forward deployed engineers, AI engineers. There's so much different roles. I think the roles will diversify. But I would say definitely just try to get into tech and be in there. Closed AI. Let me grab some water. In most contests, Q4 isn't as straightforward as today. I'm always learning, doing 3-question quick, but Q4 stumps me. Man, honestly, I only AK'd twice in my life, so I can't really give advice on that. Chat, if you're gonna ask questions, drop it in this AMA tab so that I don't lose it. All right, I'm an iOS dev at a Fortune 500 company with 4 years of experience. Is it worth me spending a couple months in LeetCode to try to get a job in Fang? Or is it too risky with AI and my current job that is stable better to stay at before AI thing gets stabilized or we get a new president? Um, I would say, let me think about this. I think the the one good thing about getting into Fang is that it's good for prestige. So once you are able to crack a job at Fang, it opens a lot of doors for you. And I noticed that not even just breaking into Fang, but when I broke into a unicorn company, I mean, so many companies just started reaching out to me, and now it doesn't really hurt, or it's very hard for me to not get a job. You know what I mean? It opened a lot of doors for me working at Fang. So I would say if you already have 4 years at a Fortune 500 company, that's good. Fang, Fortune 500 is a good level of a company. Fang is obviously like top 5 companies there. One, two, three. Yeah, it's top 5 companies. So a lot of you're gonna get reached out to a lot if you are able to job at Fang. If you could what I would say is if you could get good at LeetCode, do it. If you have time on the side, work your job at the same time, get good at LeetCode, and it won't hurt. There's nothing really wasteful about being good at LeetCode. It will help you get a job. Fang is tier 2. Yeah. Like, there's nothing really bad about getting good at LeetCode, in my opinion. Um, yeah, it will help you get a job. Worst case, you learn some stuff that it's not that useless. You learned how to problem solve. You learned how to get good at something. I mean, Ishaan was here. He was telling you that once you get good at one thing, it's easy to use that same process to get good at another thing. I've done this on another one. What advice would you give to a first year CS student to get set up for upper years? Now that most people are programming LLMs, how much time should you set aside for learning fundamentals in programming? Yeah. The one thing with computer science in general is that every concept just keeps building on the next. So in your first year, you're gonna learn programming fundamentals, control flow, loops, if statements, etc. Those are the simple logical building blocks. And then in your next class, maybe you learn object-oriented programming, um, like recursion, maybe data structures and algorithms, right? Those all build on that. And then after you learn those, you start learning networking. You learn operating systems, maybe assembly, programming paradigms like functional programming, and different paradigms other than object-oriented program. Those all build on the things you learned previously as well. And it just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. So if you're a first year student, I would say you need to build a solid foundation. And then everything just builds on top of that. So you really need to spend a lot of time making sure you have a solid foundation, because everything just builds on that. You don't want to have a shaky foundation, because if you want to build a mansion on a shaky foundation, it's not going to work out. So even me these days, I spend a lot of time just filling in the gaps on my foundational knowledge. I'm going to get back to touching back up on operating systems, some networking concepts as well. I just really need to understand the basic building blocks and having sort of first principles knowledge on that, fundamental thinking, so I can just build up the higher level concepts from the fundamentals. I mean, a good analogy is like when I used to play basketball, I spent a lot of time perfecting my jump shot, just sitting there under the hoop, like making sure that my form was really good. So you need to sort of spend, like with basketball, your form on your jump shot is the foundation for free throws, for pull-up jumpers, for three-pointers, etc. If you don't have a good fundamental jump shot, your jumper is going to be weak. So spend a lot of time perfecting that jump shot, your form especially. And that's the same thing with software engineering. Perfect the basics. That's why data structures and algorithms is important. I don't know. Hopefully that answered your question. Would you solely focus on learning your language and code base at your first job until you feel comfortable, or spending time doing other things like LeetCode personal? So, Steven, I think you could do two things at once, right? So, what you could do is you can build your personal project using technologies or adjacent technologies that you would use at work. that way that you can, I do this a lot because that way I can experiment with the technology at a much smaller scale. I can learn how to build up that stack from scratch. And then when I go to use it at my actual job, it's just the same thing that I did on my side project, but I obviously at a bigger scale. So what I would say is if you want to learn something, like you want to be better at your job, side projects are the thing, is the thing that helped me improve in my job a lot, was working on side projects. Because then it helped me learn how to do things from scratch and on a smaller scale. I just had to scale it up and do similar things at work. So yeah, that would be my advice there. I'll probably answer this one last question, then I'm gonna hop off because we have to go to. We're gonna stream again tomorrow, but what's one tool or habit that's made you more productive? Man, honestly, the best thing I ever did was delete social media. That was my thing that's made me most productive. Staying away from Instagram and Twitter and social media, it's one of the most productive things that you could do. You should Social media is not bad, but having social media control you is bad. You should have have a relationship with social media where you go on it on your own terms and you don't feel like you need it and you don't get negative feelings using it and you're not wasting your time on it when you could be doing something more productive. So I would say it's been probably like 8 or 9 years since I stopped using social media heavily, and it's probably been one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And my personal relationships have been better. My in-person relationships have been better. I still know people. I don't lose touch with them. I go on social media from time. And when I say I quit social media, it's not like I don't ever go on it. The longest I've never not gone on it was probably a few months. But now I go on it. But honestly, I'm not addicted to it anymore. I don't scroll it for more than 5 minutes. All right, chat. Keep asking questions. I can get to more of it tomorrow. But thank you for tuning in. We're going to get another chat with Ishaan. That was fun. And yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to stream again tomorrow. We have somebody interviewing for OpenAI, so I got to prepare his question. And then somebody interviewing, or we have PK Codes coming on again. He wants to redeem himself, so we'll see. I think I'll ask him something easier. But yeah, and we have that OpenAI guy coming in. But have a good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in as always. That was fun. Lots of engagement. Catch y'all on the next stream. Peace.
This is not my main thing, really I'm a coder. Coffee stains and name chains, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. LeetCode, beast mode, 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 LeetCode, beast mode. This is not my main thing, really I'm a coder. Coffee stains and name chains, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. LeetCode, beast mode, 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 LeetCode, beast mode.